Hello, amigo. Eagle Gardens. Eagle Gardens 1 on Instagram. This is episode 773.5. It's the Weed Nerd World. Some Merc playing in the background. Fixing to roll one up. Hang out with a few people for a little while. With a few people pop in. Hang out for a few. Got shit all on my lips. What up, martial artists? Green fingers. Cheers, cheers. Yeah, there's the tray. James G. Weaver's in the house. Martial artist 2012. Already said, but cheers to you. Got that, like, drink one of the protein drinks. I got like that chalky shit all over my lips, driving me nuts. Stinky. What up? Smoke Bro Fraser. How you doing? What you guys smoking on? How was your holiday? Did you get everything you wanted? Every single one of you is playing a part. And I'm sorry if you only really came here for bars and you can't understand the fact that what I'm saying is art. It's art. I still don't get the message. I can ask the message. Candyman Dan. No aggressive flexing. Just because I know you doesn't mean I'm gonna bless your record. Please tell the chef put extra effort on. Please put extra effort on my lemon pepper. What's up, Ryan Kowalski? Just because I'm not gangster doesn't mean that I don't know a few. I had to change the scenery. I'm focused on the ocean view. I know a few. That big old zit on my nose, man, like fucking Rudolph. It doesn't mean I'm below it. Call the call of the weed nerd. I actually hard booked the Weed Nerd World or the shout outs list. I gotta put all your slaps on there. I started with a few. Hillbilly Grower, Tommy Trichomes, I'm up in there. Gotta put some more slaps on there. Make it all official shout out. I learned a lot of ignoring the negativity. Because when I give it energy, I'm just making enemies. So I just make the best of it. They know I got what I needed, no doubt. Hell yeah. I start to notice if I'm angry, then I'm not myself. Once I got the wealth, I noticed all I want's my health. True story. I think I'm gonna put a little hash in on this. The once. I guess that's the new definition of watered down. There's all that thugging on the internet. I'm not about you. Do this for all that thugging on the internet. Every song I drop is my hater song to talk about. I'm gonna level up. Cheers to you, the silent one. Hopefully you had an amazing Christmas. Thanks for stopping in. I greatly appreciate that shit. I bet the scene will get real boring without me. No matter my achievements are still going to doubt me. Thank you, Cottonmouth Kings, for this little gift here. Appreciate it. I got less to prove, yet I still got more to earn. So you can still smoking on it. Your concern. I remember I was underpaid and overworked. Now when I write my will, it'll feel like I just wrote a verse. I'm happy that I did write a verse. Because I was a kid, and if I did, I would go berserk. The first name on the bill, I was the opener, and now I'm headlining. It's about time that I know my worth. So dig me some Merc, that's for sure. You want to taste the success? I don't see nobody saying what they smoking on. Would everybody leave on me? I know I'm on top chat, but damn. There we go. Got me on top chat, live chat available. Hell no. No designer frame. I don't wear the tunnel too often, but man, I love the fucking tunnel. I don't know why, but I do. Some cider mans. Tie cut, tie roll cut. Really? Nice. Is this fucking twisted? What's this, man? I've been trying to fucking wait for YouTube to throw me this motherfucker all day. Chiba man! What up? Hell yeah. Just about to sleep, then I saw Weed Nerd World. I feel like I'm fucking up your sleep. shit. I feel like shit. I'm fucking sick. Twisted. Apple fritter. Got a little bit of green finger coming in the house. You know? Kim O.D. Kim D. Oh, I don't know why I said that. Sorry. Kim D. I almost fucked up that twice. Sounds good though. It's been a while since I've had some really good fucking Kim D. DLP, did you get your seeds? I sent out 2 test packages. Hopefully you got one of them. Fucking sick. Twisted. Not necessarily a jelly roll fan, but he's growing on me. What up, green fingers? I don't know if I can hear you. Say something. I can't hear you. Hold on. Oh, there you go. I should be able to hear you now. That's dumb. Twisted and sick. Shit, I need rehabilitation. I don't know if I can make it. Hello. There we go. Oh, my headphones were fucked up and shit.
I was making it.
Oh. I can't even describe the pain. He had me going fucking doing sound checks and shit. How's your day, man?
Tired. I slept most of the day. I sleep when I'm not feeling it.
Oh, shit. Well, the automation is freedom. Yeah, not yet. Let me know. I mailed them out like mid last week. Hopefully you get them. If not, I'll fucking mail them out again. But I sent one to you and Jason. So Jason got his. Hopefully you'll get yours. And if those 2 go out, I'll proceed to send more out. What up, man? What you smoking on? What's in the pipe?
I think Donnie Burger.
Turn that down. It's a good one right here, though. Heart on my sleeve. Oh, I am smoking on, I forgot what fucking Bruce Banner. I think a little bit of Bruce Banner. No. Queener. With a Q from Subcool there. Right there. Oh, I got my finger all over it.
I got some blood on.
Miss my own weed though. Grateful for what I have. I do miss my own style. Y'all quiet.
What's that?
So y'all quiet.
Me? Quiet?
Yeah, you.
No. Just trying to pack a bowl. Fucking, it clogged it. So I get perplexed when I clog a bowl. Like, what the fuck did I do to make it clog? It's completely clogged. What the fuck? That's weird. I don't know. It's like I have to concentrate to get it unclogged. Holy shit. I pushed the whole stick through it twice already. Right when I put the weed on it, it clogs up. What the fuck? Okay. That tastes pretty good. I got a pimple on the inside of my nostril.
Better than one line. The fucking look at this Rudolph the Red-Nosed fucking thing I got going on the end of mine, man.
Yeah, the one on the inside though. Every time.
Follow me to New Year's.
Every time I cough, the thing hurts so bad in my nose. It's like, fuck. And then when I
realized mine was there until I sat down in front of the camera. I didn't even have time to try to like fucking pop it or anything. Damn.
I had a massive one last week right here with that little horn.
The ones inside your nose are painful though. I'm fucking certain.
Yeah. I thought it was a nose hair I needed to pull, so I pulled it. And that revealed that it was a fucking pimple. And I was like, oh my God, I feel it now. It's like,
DOA project's looking so nice. So you got the smiley version there, Smoking Grove Fraser? Do you have both?
got some, let's see what I got, some free seeds from Bud and Lather. Some cool ass fucking crosses in there. Or some cool ass seeds, I should say. Fucking, yeah. Don't want to open it though. Fucking, yeah. The soap is so awesome. Shit smells so crazy. My whole fucking house smells like patchouli, like a hippie walked through here, farted. I was like, damn, it smells like hippie in my house now, man. I smell like a hippie too. Soap lasts a long time. Shit's good. Good soap. Fucking cool.
I see you got some. Did you reclaim your workout equipment, or did you get workout equipment for the holiday?
The little straps.
Yeah.
I mean, the pull-up bar. I got a pull-up bar that I missed having in my life. Once I tried to do one and couldn't do one. I was like, damn, I used to do 30 of them in like 2 minutes, dude. If you don't use it, you lose it. That shit's real.
It's real.
I'm like, oh my God, I can't do one anymore. Fucking the struggle was real. And that's when I was like, fuck. And I used to weigh 250 and I was busting them out fast as fuck too. Hard. All that body weight. Fucking, I didn't realize how much muscle I had. I just let waste away doing nothing for so many years. Fucking shit. Felt like a fucking loser. Like, damn. Couldn't do one. Not one yet. We'll get it. Next week I'll have 5. Takes its time. After the steroids kick in, just kidding. That's why we both have all this acne popping off. Just kidding. That's fucked up. That's what somebody said last time. You on steroids? You lifting again? Like, I never was on steroids. Fuck. Well, I was fat when I lifted. Shit.
Starting to get into that nice hash.
How the fuck do you save hash?
I don't know how I still have hash, to be honest with
You found a whole jar in your fucking shit. Never mind, I remember.
I still got some of my hash. I still got smiley hash. I got hash. I got some hash, that's for sure.
That's crazy.
Not really. Seeing how like I started with like 11 ounces.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good stash, brother.
I used to smoke a lot too. Like every day, a snake in my joint, like 5 joints a day, and like I could see how it runs out so fast. Like it's fucking just up in smoke. It's like fuck, it's gone already. Roll another one. And the snakes are like not little either. Like I stopped using king size for that reason. It's like you have to pack so much more weed, and then, yeah. smoke a little joint. I can't afford that big baller shit till I pull down some of my own weed finally. Fuck.
So I just wanted to just address some shit in chat there. Cheers, Lars. They're trying to ask what's the difference in the crosses and the DOA. So if you guys don't remember, obviously you don't. There's two different versions. Both me and Smiley, when we popped each side, we kept a male and a female of each. So basically, I hunted out, well, I just said it, I hunted out a male and a female, and then Smiley gave me his female, and I gave him my female, the one I wanted to work with, and then we hit him with each other's males. So my DOA cross, it has a Columbia male times the Jack Skellington female, and Smiley's cross has the Jack Skellington male to the Colombian female. So they're flip-flopped is what the difference is on those crosses. Yep, you're right there. Smoke and Grow Fraser. And from what I've seen from the people that have been able to get the seeds of both, there is a difference there in the structure of the plants, like night and day. One's short and stout from what I've seen from Thunder Dan, and one of them's a little bit more tall and lanky. But yeah, we wanted you guys to experience the best of both worlds, I guess.
Oh yeah.
And I still got a bunch of seeds that I'm sitting on to pass out. I mean, I got like, I'd say probably about 7 different things I whipped together during that time with the Columbia male, just to pass out, and, you know, whatever.
Oh yeah.
So did you do anything special yesterday?
No, I just hung out. Oh yeah, I hung out with my mom. That's special every time though. So that's the only thing I really look forward to doing. Anyways, when it's even not a holiday, it's just like hang out with my mom for the weekend or for the day, kick it. Yeah,
Nothing wrong with it.
special to me. Well, that's special to me. So just kicked it. We made a turkey. Fucking, and she left me with like the whole fucking like more than half of it. And I have a mini fridge or like a little like an apartment size fridge, like small. It's not mini, but it's not huge. It's like fucking. I couldn't fit that shit in there. I had to put it on in a cooler overnight. Now I ate enough to put some of it in the fridge finally, and now I'm making soup right now. So that kind of the struggles fucking. Come on, the struggle's real. Fucking turkey was too big. Dude, my fridge, it's bigger than my fridge. I was like, what the fuck do I do with this? It can't fit in my fridge. Like, so I don't know. I gotta go. Bye. I'm like, what the fuck? No. Like, you're an adult.
All eating ostrich and shit. It ain't even turkey.
Yeah, it's so big. Like my dogs are like looking at us like, what the fuck? Like that you guys gonna eat all that? It's like, come on, feed us. Feed us.
40-pound turkey for 2 people.
But yeah, it was free though. So that shit was fire for a free turkey. Yeah. Like, fuck yeah. She's like, yeah. Your aunt was gonna make it and she didn't want to make tamales, so she said if you wanted it, because her oven don't work. And I was like, what the fuck? It's like, yeah, I would rather have those tamales though. Fuck. Like I missed the tamales. There was none. It's like, fuck. Shit. It's the one thing somebody's gotta make. Good weed nerd tamales. Get everybody high. Fucking unwrap it, smell that weed. The masa. Be good. Little hash tamales. That'd be dope as fuck. Get high as hell, I bet.
And I had bust out this t-shirt. I ain't wore this shirt in a while, man. The original.
I like it. I like the original because the border, like the way it goes square, like all the way, like yeah.
It's the
Makes
only one
it
I haven't put up for some reason. I got this nice little Buddha, stone Buddha from my daughter for Christmas. I even took off the skull. It seemed to contradict each other. How can you have a skull and a Buddha at the same time?
skull represents life, death,
It
and
does.
everything in between.
It
Yeah.
does.
I used to have a metal big one, like this life size one, but it's all made of like some kind of steel or metal or something. It was so fucking heavy. But I put a candle right on top of his head. Like used to let it drip. And it was a red candle. And that shit like when I would be on mushrooms would make me fucking trip so bad. Like dripping down his face and just filling up the eyes and then drip down and fill up the fucking nose and then drip down and fill up his mouth and like oh so fucking trippy. Allegedly. Good stuff. Got this wheezing problem, man. Fucking weather. It's been like humid a little bit. I'm not used to it.
Lava lamp looks dead. I forgot to turn it on.
It's probably cold in there. That's why, yeah. It's sad. It's totally dead. I just saw that. Like, holy shit, there's not even no color.
It's a total different color. Look at it when it's not on. It's like a dead red.
Dude, it looks like fucking sad. Like, fuck, dude. Like, that looks sad as fuck right there. It looks like it's an empty one. Like it's broken or empty, missing the liquid. Shit, I smoked that weed here, man. I'll roll a joint or something. I don't know. Running out
Teeny
of
tiny little fucking bong heads. Fuck.
my tiny bong's so small and I smoke so much weed with it and don't even realize it. I'm like,
How's some girls looking? How's the lady's green fingers?
what baby?
Like the fucking plants.
Oh, I thought you meant the dogs. Shit, see? Could be the dogs, the plants.
You better not be figuring them dogs, goddammit. Are you not listening what I'm saying, man?
No, I just thought you said how are them babies? And I was like, what
you be
baby?
rubbing them green fingers on them plants. You're like, the dogs?
Yeah, I thought you said how are them babies? I couldn't hear shit.
Oh.
That's a trip, dude. The plants are looking all right, I guess. If I touch them, I'm afraid
Oh,
that.
yeah. Little Jack Greenstock in the house.
What's up, Robert? What's up, Eagle?
What up, man?
Not much.
Sure.
Pleasure to see you.
Good to be back. Nice to be here with you boys. Been too long.
Yes, it definitely has. I understand though. Life moves in crazy ways. I'm always grateful to get you guys when I can get you.
Yeah, I know how you're feeling a little bit with the holidays not going exactly as you're planning, so to speak. I'm still, I would assume, testing positive for the COVID, unfortunately.
Really?
Set my plans back. I was supposed to see family and shit. I went to Tucson, saw my in-laws a little bit, distance and things like that. But, you know, me and the wifey got it like last Sunday or something, maybe 2 weeks ago. I haven't had a severe case or anything, just a little fever here and there and some shivers or whatever, a little soreness. But my family from back east, they all had planned to come meet us out here on the West Coast. We were going to do like both the in-laws and my family and meet up in Arizona. And I did a little time in Tucson, and then we're going to spend a few days Christmas Day and like, you know, 4 or 5 days after at a place over in Phoenix. But last second, like many others out there, my family's flight plans all got canceled. So regardless of the fact that I had COVID, I wasn't going to get to see them because they weren't going to get to come. So that threw a little monkey wrench into things. And so we came home 5 days sooner than expected. We drove, but yeah, at least I've got a couple days off work. Took a midday nap today, and so I had a little energy when I saw you pop on. I'd seen your Instagram posts. Figure I'd hopefully pop in, maybe cheer you up a little bit, let you know you're not the only one who, you know, even the family we did get to see, there was a little bit of you know, shit goes down. Nobody's family's perfect. I'm sure everybody's got shit going on, and this time of the year is a lot harder than most people make it look on social media for a lot of people. And even for this a great cheery time, I mean, good for everybody who's having the great cheery times. I'm happy for everybody. But
I really debated on whether or not to post that, to be honest with you. But you know, there's a lot of truth there. You know what I mean? So you know, I guess at the end of the debate, I ended up, you know, I threw it out. Because you're right though. And then, you know, social media, you know, a lot of people use that shit to just post staged moments, or you know what I mean? It's always the up and off, you know what I mean?
they're just flexing on people, making it seem like their life's fucking perfect all the time, most of the time, for most people on social media. I mean, we're all guilty of it. We want to take photos when things are going well, when we're doing a cool event, when we're having a good moment with family or friends, or just out and about exploring. But it's not like we all go have fucking magnificent adventures every day, or at least most of us don't. Most of us have fucking work that we got to do, bills we got to pay, and the glamorous shit is what we share because it's the exciting stuff. But it makes it then seem like, oh, all my friends are doing this cool shit, maybe I should be doing better or whatever it is. But yeah, it's the truth of the matter is, for the 90 or 100 posts that I saw that were all just sunshine and rainbows, I saw maybe like one or two that were pretty realistic about that. That it's like, shout out to those of you who aren't even going to be with family. Like, even if you have them or if you don't have them, a lot of people aren't going to be able to be with them, whether it's because they're at work, or maybe they don't see eye to eye, maybe they've passed on, maybe there's there's so much shit. Like you said, the most important thing, we're here. That means we have tomorrow, we got today, and make the best of it. Be grateful for what we do have. And it's so easy to get trapped up in the negativity because evolutionarily we've evolved to remember every little negative thing because it might give us a better chance to survive. And that's kind of gone even further to an extent where we're not really worried about survival anymore, but we're still wired to think like that. So you could get 100 positive comments and that one negative one will fucking stick with you. That's why I just think it's so important to focus on realizing we all have self-worth. We're all very valuable as an individual to ourselves and to the world, and just trying our best to do good by ourselves. Because if you're treating yourself right, if you're really truly like loving yourself and looking after yourself and caring for yourself, a lot of the other shit will fall in line. And then sometimes when others aren't necessarily treating you the best, or you're not loving how they're acting and making you feel like you need to respond in a way that's not happy or whatever, I often reflect on, like, when someone says or does something negative, it's so often just a reflection of their own inner problems that they have going on. Like, they're projecting their own unhappiness onto someone else. So because they're not succeeding, they might point out what you're not succeeding at and make you feel like you're not worth it or not as good as you really are. And maybe you're just not at that point in the process yet. Maybe you're 50 and you'll be fucking perfect at it when you're 60, or you just need more time, or whatever it is. Or sometimes you just gotta hire somebody. Like,
the age thing doesn't matter to me, none, not one. You know how many people, fuck Colonel Sanders to name one, fucking there, you know how many people actually don't succeed until like later in life? You know what I mean? They made it and failed, but didn't really truly find success until fucking 50, 65. Pretty crazy. People I kind of respect more on, because they're the motherfuckers that didn't give up. You know what I mean? They kept trying. They didn't hit it out of the park the first time. Then once it kept rolling.
Secret is fucking damn near no one crushes it the first time. Pretty much anyone who's done anything great failed and failed and failed. And then they finally fucking succeeded a little bit. And then maybe they got a little positive feedback on that, and then they pushed that, and then they made it something. And a lot of artists aren't even fucking appreciated in their own time. I mean, most artists' work goes for more money after they die. And a lot of that can be said for shit from architecture to, anything. A lot of people aren't appreciated until after they're gone. I really like the whole new trend in like the rap community of like giving people their flowers or basically praising people while they're here, because you never know. In that community, a lot of those people get killed in street violence, unfortunately. And in our community, a lot of people die of different medical ailments because a lot of people turn to cannabis for medical reasons, and some of them are very extreme. Like, rest in peace to our brother Subcool. He had Alpha 1, and that's a very serious thing. We were lucky to have him the time that we had him. He bred amazing shit. He taught us a lot of shit. We've kept it alive, this show's name, even as a nod to it always. And he's one of the constant reminders of the fact that you got to take advantage of your time here that you have and enjoy it and share that love and spread it with people. And DOA, another one, shout out to our lost brother. I mean, you guys are still doing amazing work with that project. So there's stuff to be happy about. It's easy to, in these times where shit gets negative, to focus that spotlight of our attention on that negativity. But in reality, like, man, you look around, most people are doing positive for each other. Most people are doing good for each other and the betterment of society. And if they're not, I mean, maybe that's a sign to get out of that area if you're able to. But I think a lot of people, if you are open-minded and kind, which is also not like the easiest thing to do, you kind of do have to go out of your way, I think, and maybe it is more natural for some people than others. But the more kindness that we do, like Eagle always says, do something kind for someone, that shit spreads. It's like a positivity fire, like a fucking infectious flame that builds people up, and it builds you up. That's the craziest thing. Like, I saw somebody on Twitter posted something, and I just said some of the advice that I just said here, and I don't even know if they've seen it or replied to it yet, but like the act of giving them advice that has helped me in the past, or a new perspective or a fresh perspective, I felt good about it, and I think that it will benefit them. Just give them, because some people don't have that friend, parent, or a role model that can be that positive example. So it's like, it's so powerful when we get on the internet and we're able to spread positivity and encourage people to do the same and be generous. If you have extra cannabis, if you have extra hash, gift it to your friends that don't have it available to them, that will benefit from it. And even if you don't have like that kind of stuff, a lot of people can barely afford their own stash. So I get that too. But just being open-minded, it's amazing how much that means to a lot of people. Like, some people have just been shut down and told that their ideas are like not interesting or good for a long time. And if you could just be that person who's like, that idea is actually cool, like, maybe check out the internet, you'll probably find a bunch of people and have similar interests and shit. But I feel like I'm talking a lot of platitudes, but it's general, just good advice to remind ourselves of. I know a lot of the best advice is really obvious at times, but I don't know. It's never a bad time to think about being positive, treating each other well, and focusing on ourselves and our own mental health and well-being, and making sure that we're okay at the end of the day. Because we can't, just like the oxygen mask on an airplane, it might seem like a noble thing if you're like, oh, well, if my kids are on the plane, I'm going to put the mask on them first, and then I'll put my mask on. But in reality, in a plane situation like that, if there's no oxygen, the masks drop because you don't have availability of oxygen. So if you don't put that mask on yourself, there's a good chance you're actually going to pass the fuck out before you can save yourself. So then you're a liability to your kids, and you're a liability to everybody else who then needs to jump in and try and help you. And so it's one of those things. It's a great example of like, sometimes we really got to help ourselves before we can help anyone else, and making sure we're looking after ourselves and our health as much as we can. I mean, not to advocate for sleep on a late night show, but that's one thing. Like, whatever your routine is, it doesn't have to be like fucking 8 hours from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. But however, I do think that sleep is huge. And if you can get 6 or as much as 8 hours a day, that'll make you fucking feel a whole lot better. And an easy way to do that is get plenty of physical activity, whether it's exercise or a job that makes you fucking work. Not many day laborers who work long, hard-ass days have insomnia. That's something I've come across. It's like people that work fucking really, really hard, laborious jobs. often sleep pretty good. They have other problems, aches and pains, but if you get that energy out, it's gonna be a whole lot easier to sleep. When you start sleeping well, your mental health starts coming together. Start drinking water, fucking get hydrated. I know people like to poo-poo alcohol, but I know there's a lot of alcohol users in our community who are probably getting, it impacts you, but I'm not going to judge anybody for it. It's something to take into account. Our health is so easy to knock down with lots of temptations and things, but we got to do our best to take care of ourselves so we can take care of others. At least that's how I feel. I mean, we could all just isolate and only take care of ourselves and not think about anybody else, but I think it's important to balance, like making sure you're taking care of yourself and also, when you can, being a good member of the community. So I like, not that any of our presence is required on any of these shows. It's all voluntary and free will or whatever. But when I have the time and availability, fucking, even if it's just Eagle on here or just the three of us, and some nights it's fucking 20 of us, But, and we got the whole chat with us, who I can't see right now, unfortunately. But when I go back and watch, I always love reading people's comments back and forth to each other, whether it's about our conversations or others, and lots of different perspectives. And like, we really span the whole community, every political affiliation, every ethnicity, every orientation, everything. Like, the cannabis community has it all. And it's a blessing really to be a tiny little part of it and just come and hang out with y'all when I have the time. I hope that maybe some of the people, maybe you two guys here chilling with me right now, or some of the people listening live or afterwards, benefit maybe from hearing some of the shit. Because I know there was many times in my life where I needed to hear something positive and something to get me on the right track. Because when you're in that negative space, it seems like everything's fucking negative all the time. It even colors your past memories.
That's the weird thing, Jack. Yesterday was brutal, but it was, in the end, it was positive. You know what I mean? My brain works in weird ways. It's almost like, you ever see the fucking like comedy of the cartoon where the guy fucking gets hit with the pan and goes like fucking like in the days and shit, and he gets hit with the pan again and it's fucking right back to normal. That's kind of, I think, what happened yesterday. I think, as brutal as it was, I think it snapped me back to, where I needed to be ultimately. I came under the realization, first things first, I want to say shout out to the empaths. I'm definitely a huge empath, and there's a couple of them out there that actually hit me up out of the blue yesterday. I don't know if they want me to mention the names or not, but I'm gonna, fuckers. Miss Westport, Alex Hardy, out of the random blue yesterday, hit me up in the middle of the eve and was like, "Hey man, Mr. Hardy's words in specific. I don't usually do this, man, but I just felt the need." You know what I mean? And, gave me a shout out and shit. And, pretty fucking cool. And, other thing I'd like to follow that up with is, my apologies, to everybody, man. I've been phoning it in for the last fucking 6-8 months. You know what I mean? With kind of being lost, really. And it really kind of hit me yesterday, the night before Christmas Eve, that, I'd kind of been really in like PTSD. You know what I mean? That sudden change of life over this last year. And it was, man, everything kind of happened, if you're in the know, everything happened in that week and very quickly. And, I didn't realize it had the impact that it had on me, really. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't see how, spun you necessarily you are. And I realized it, just, I'd seen several parallels, like when Lexi got it, from her car accident, didn't want to get in the car. You know what I mean? I think in general kind of happened to me, man. I fucking life had that quick change on me, and I was like, man, I don't know if I want to get back in the driver's seat. You know what I mean? I fucking it took me to realize, it took me a second to realize I was almost afraid of the wheel. You know what I mean? And yesterday was that kind of like realization, what I had done, and kind of woke me up. It did wake me up. I know, kind of, it did. Cheers to that. Cheers to, to no one. Cheers to no one, I guess. Cheers to Tao. What's up, American one? Cheers, brother.
Yeah.
Green Fingers, Jack, Eagle, happy holidays. How's everyone doing?
Good.
We're celebrating Festivus.
There you
We're
go.
airing our grievances.
Airing grievances?
No, we were actually just kind of, I came in and I think maybe trying to give a little bit of a pick-me-up conversation for Eagle and anybody else who's, having a little bit of a hard time in the holidays. And we all struggle, but it's good to be reminded that life does go on and there's positivity ahead, and that there's a lot of good in the community that he's done and currently doing, and things to look forward to. Because I was kind of just saying how when you're in that negative place, that your brain sort of paints everything as like a negative.
Yeah, you get stuck in that too. So
it's also like a slope where if you're at the top of the mountain and you've gone down once and it's not snowing, right? You create a path, and that path could be a positive one or it could be a negative one. But when you get on those negative paths, it gets like a little deeper and a little deeper, and it's easier to go down that path over and over and over. So sometimes somebody coming in and shaking shit up and just giving a fresh perspective and reminding you of like some of the good that's going on that you've personally done and that you're doing, it can help kind of be like snow to make it so it's not just, oh, I'm going to go down that negative path. Like I could carve myself a fresh path and start a new route, because we all get caught in cycles sometimes, and it can be tough to snap out of them. But good friends and family and community, I think, are able to help you reset and help you identify when they're seeing changes, or when maybe you're identifying things that you saw in your daughter that you're not seeing in yourself. It's so hard to be objective about ourselves. We can't be, right? We literally, in certain cases, you can't look at yourself. You have to talk to your friends and family to see, like, am I being objective about this? Especially as like we get older or whatever it is. Like if we're sick, we're injured, we might not want to admit that we need the help that we need, because usually we are the types of people that want to help people. But sometimes you really do have to ask for help, whether it's physically, mentally, spiritually, from your community, from your family. I mean, it's okay. That's the thing. A lot of men or anybody just generally have been taught that it's weak to ask for help or something like that. But in reality, it shows strength. It shows that you're smart and intelligent, and that you're acknowledging that something's not right. You could improve some way. And that's the thing to focus on. Is like people say post-traumatic stress, but I like the post-traumatic growth mindset of like, okay, this stuff happened, and we live with all of our experiences. Every single experience up till this very second colors our perspective. But how can we grow from our experiences? Like the same people that go overseas, some of them come back here and have real struggles, and some of them come back here and start businesses and crush it and succeed and keep marching forward and use some of the leadership and camaraderie and stuff that they learned. There's always like that silver lining, I guess, so to speak. So it's not always the easiest to see in the moment, but I always appreciate that you keep that undertone of positivity, because I don't know if I'm an optimist, realist, or whatever. I'm definitely not a pessimist, but I think it's important to have at least a little bit of positivity and hope, because otherwise it's fucking easy to get into dark places. There's so much dark shit on the news and on the internet and TV, whatever the fuck, radio, like every single media. If it bleeds, it leads was a term for a long time, probably still is. And, I don't know.
I tell you,
But
I think the car analogy was the best I could think of for the situation too, and it is too, man. I can say this with a smile because like I said, I'm definitely on the opposite side now. Um, it was, man. It was like looking at, you know, that car you built, you know what I mean, and then walking around. Somebody after the wreck just kind of dropped it in your front yard, and, you know, just loan and everything. And I walked around and looked at, you know, piece by piece. You know what I mean? I remember putting this on the car. I remember this, you know, and that's kind of, you know, what was like yesterday. And then at the end of the day, I kind of fucking look back and I kind of was like, you know, with a smile on your face as you're remembering all the fucking good times and shit. You know what I mean? I can't fucking fix this. This is fucked. There's no fixing that motherfucker. Yeah, it's fucking total. And walking away, like I said, with a smile, remembering all the fucking fun times and shit. You know what I mean? I just had that. Yeah, it was like I said, it was a day, but yeah, it's every day is a learning experience, isn't it? I mean, or should be. Sometimes it's a lesson that we learn about how to do something, and some days it's a lesson about ourselves.
I'm amazed every day. I do feel like I can still learn something. If I don't, then I fucking try to. Might as well. I want to learn something right now. What is Violet Beauregard, the American one? What's that cross? Is that one of the blueberry cheesequake?
Yeah, blueberry by cheesequake. Exactly.
Okay, because I've been seeing Smart Poker, and he just says the name, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
is that a new cross or is that a newly named cross?
Yeah, just named finally, yes. And
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I think I might have to go back. Now I can't now, but I want to go back with my word that I was going to name all my strains after a chick. But I'm not gonna. They'll all be named after a chick. Don't matter.
Is what is the Beauregard reference? I'm not really super familiar with that.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, it's funny. I just watched that.
And Violet, you're turning violet.
I see. It's
Yeah.
classic.
Always goes wrong at the dessert.
That's funny. Such a strange film.
Dude, that
early
was
one.
my favorite movie as a kid.
It was one of mine as well. I mean,
and maybe even today.
Rewatching it like as an adult is definitely an experience because I watched it when I was really young, and I feel like did not take in how out there it is.
Dude, the riverboat scene, that's like the closest thing to tripping out if you're never tripped out. That's exactly. I even did an IG post one time. I'm like, for anyone who doesn't know what tripping out is like, sometimes it's exactly like this.
Everybody needs a good trip once in a while, I think.
At least one in your lifetime. You gotta experience it.
Not sure everybody can handle it.
It'll come at the right time.
Some
Hopefully.
people weren't built that way.
I don't know. It's so weird that like tenacity is just like every time it's a spiritual experience. And I'm like, I never even shot for that spiritual experience. When I was in the tripping out hard, I was all about the smiles and miles, man. I laughed so hard on shroom, well, mostly on acid, but on the shrooms a couple times. The shrooms, I had some great visuals a couple of times. Well, basically just that one time. My buddy, when I was in college, he must have got a quarter of a pound. And I was hanging out with him, and he just kept like busting out pieces constantly. No, we didn't weigh it. Like first we did an eighth, then he was just taking, here, eat this, here, eat this. But yeah, I've had a lot of fun on acid and mushrooms. But yeah,
dude, I was just watching a podcast with this guy, Young Gravy, and he was like hitting a DMT vape pen earlier in the day. Like he was super fucking casual about it. Like,
come on, Young Gravy, the musician dude.
Yeah, whip a Tesla, gas money. Oh man, I fuck with Young Gravy.
Yeah.
He's got some funny songs, man. But he does DMT and shit. Salvia is the one that fucked me up worse than not worse. It was a fascinating experience, and I've told you guys about it in the past. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think psychedelics have a place. Cannabis is one. If you've taken a huge enough fucking dose of edibles, a lot of people trip out, especially if they don't they don't have any tolerance. There's a reason so many people end up in the fucking emergency room. It's not going to kill them, but people are not used to that level of being fucked up.
I found it to be fun. I've only been able to achieve that once, and it was like a mega dose of like super butter I was making. And I've told that story too, man. But it was yeah.
Dude, even weed back in the day, I was selling to a chiropractor, and he smoked a joint with his next door neighbor, and his next door neighbor's wife called him up. What did you give my husband? He's freaking out. I'm taking him to the emergency room. She's like, no, don't do that. I'll come right over. I'll hang out. You just got to calm down. It was only weed. Just got to relax. I'll come hang out with him until he feels better. And then, but people, if you read I read like the old essays on people when they were used it as a medicine, the doctors would write the patient's experiences and shit. A lot of people think they're dying. You know, that's like it's kind of like a mind fuck kind of when they were eating the hash big time back in the day.
Huge doses fuck with people.
Yeah,
especially when you're like a complete newbie, like a lot of people were. They were prescribed it by their doctor. It's not like they were recreationally taking it and then figured out, oh, this also has medical benefits like many of us. But you're right. Like if you look at the tinctures and like the doses and stuff, it's funny what they come up with as cannabis poisoning, like remedies. They would tell people to like drink coffee or like eat sugar, basically like get your metabolism going and shit, because it would like wake them up if they were like overly like intoxicated by cannabis. That was like the cure that the doctors at the time came up with.
I've heard the milk thing for your dogs, if they actually eat cannabis, I've heard giving them milk helps snap some out of that. But I've never heard it for you.
Milk for every drug that I've called the poison thing on, because my dog I didn't know what was wrong with him. I had to take him into the vet, but it was like milk.
CBD.
Milk. What the fuck? But milk
CBD.
was the first one on every list. Like milk. I was like, what the?
CBD helps a lot if you're too high, and also smelling like black pepper or anything with high amounts of beta caryophyllene have both been shown to stimulate the CB2 receptor. CB1 is like CB fun, like THC and all the other good stuff. And then like CB2 is more like inflammation, and there's potentially even a CB3 I'm hearing. But we have like more endocannabinoid receptors than pretty much like fucking anything. And I think that it's important to know that we have them and know when to stimulate them. Like I personally rarely use CBD, but it has fucking place. And it's great for inflammation and other things like that. But it also is amazingly powerful at bringing people down off of too high.
I'm telling you right now,
weed trip.
One of the best books I've listened to, like canna related, Cannabis for Chronic Pain. If you guys do the Audible thing there and prefer the hard copy, man, that book has been very enlightening, about identifying which molecules are really good. And main argument they're presenting throughout the book is we're only utilizing like 15 to 20% by smoke inhalation, vaping, in edible form. We're not even scratching the surface of what we could be doing medically with the plant.
What else? We gotta inject it.
Well, they were juicing it for one. They're just saying any kind of raw form, and that kind of made me wonder if like, say the fecal oil and stuff. We always talk about decarbing. I'm wondering if there's a way we could strip without, having to add that heat to get back to just common oil. There's got to be a way, either through cold press or something.
Dude, I just eat baby buds, the popcorn buds sometimes, and I'm cleaning up the lowers.
Do 2 batches. I do one where I don't decarb it, which is more for like pain. It's mostly THCA and other stuff like that. The other one I have is, you know, cooked off to recapture the alcohol. And then I also have one that I try and push for CBN where I keep it on high heat for like days. So it's like black, like pure fucking black. And that's more sedative and it's also a good pain reliever. But
yeah, that's kind of what I didn't mean to cut you off. That's kind of what they were saying though about the raw form of THCA and CBA. Both of those, they're saying, you know what I mean? If you
CBGA, yeah.
No, CBA, because I listened to it like 3 times before
Really?
That's what they said.
There's so many, and there's CBC.
Listen to the book. I'm telling you, listen to the book.
CBC.
There's a bunch of them. CBGA, CBG. There's so many.
They're saying, you know, taking in the, you know, decarboxylated form, you know what I mean? Without moving them through, just the raw form, ingesting them just in their raw form has so much more of a benefit for you than, you know, heating them up.
I totally agree with that. That's why the Jamaicans all ate it. I mean, they make teas, they drink it.
Man.
I eat the leaves, eat the lowers.
In some of the recipes, like for juicing purposes, they were like saying 14 leaves a day and like so many larger mature leaves and so many, you know, they had so many of the younger ones because they had different stuffs in them, you know, in the different stages.
It doesn't have the resin on it. You may as well just do wheatgrass, right?
Well, actually, if you look under a microscope, like I have right here, one of these just simple loops on a seedling, you'll see resin. It's not very apparent to the naked eye. There is plenty of resin on the seedling. If you look at it, the stalk, the leaf, there's resin all over a cannabis plant. It's different types of trichomes, but the bulbous ones start forming later in flower, or more so, and they're more pronounced. But you'll see all through veg. Even your non-sugary fan leaf will have trichomes all over it. You can go pull one off your plant, put it under a microscope right now tonight, and you'll see there's trichomes all over it. They're not necessarily the ones that most of us think of for smoking purposes or hash purposes.
Or have anything. I don't know if they have anything in them.
No, they do. They have like CBG. They have a whole bunch of different phytocannabinoids throughout the process. It's mostly CBG early. Breeder Steve was talking about he used like that stuff for edibles and he got super baked off of it. It's like leaves he pulled off throughout the process.
Go back and watch. There's one with the Boogie Brew dude.
He juices it and he gets stoned as hell.
Yeah, him in the voodoo. Yeah.
He said, I fucking drank that stuff, but it had coconut milk in it. Was it the fat in the milk that made that fucking go off? Or was it
activated it?
Yeah, because I was like, he cold juiced.
Dude,
it was like,
even cold juiced though, if you have extremely low tolerance, I don't think that John smokes from growing your greens.
No, he doesn't. Listen, as soon as you chop that plant out, it starts getting decarboxylated, you know, just time and heat. So if you just have old weed, it's probably decarboxylated. If you put it on top of
they juiced a shit ton of it.
Actually, I did it like twice. I never decarboxylate.
He drank a massive ass cup. If you juice, you know how many leaves have to go in to get that amount of juice. He juiced a shit ton of cannabis, and like you said, he had some sort of.
And it wasn't just leaves, right?
I'm pretty sure it was just leaf, but I
remember one time he did have buds though. He was juicing. And that was the time he did juice the buds though, because the guy just let him take all kinds of stuff when he was deleafing for him. He's like, it's harvest time, and you can take as much as you want. He's like, all right.
The one time I watched, he did just leaves, and he got stoned as hell. He was
that's the time he got stoned, right? Yeah, that's the time he got ripped, and his friend was like, "Yeah, I vouch for him because he doesn't smoke, and he was fucking ripped."
Well, and the thing is that Boogie Brew guy knows he smokes weed all the time himself, so you know what somebody who's high looks like and acts like, and like you could see his fucking eyes were like low. He was giggly, like it was the stereotypical like, you know, getting fucking baked out.
And he's pretty cool for not being a stoner though. I watched
Yeah, I
that
think
guy for a bunch
gardeners,
of different shit. Yeah.
same. I follow him for fruit and veg, all sorts of
The
general
cops
stuff.
went to his house.
I know, because he had a grow light in his bathroom. That's where I came on his page first too.
He's like, these guys. He wasn't even home though. His wife was home, and then he showed up while they were still there. I'm pretty sure because I just watched the shit. I'm like, man, that's just so fucked up.
It was like a blurple too, which is the funniest shit.
Yeah.
He had like a blurple hanging in his like shower in his spare bedroom, and they thought he was growing weed. And so they like came around asking questions because he didn't have a medical permit or whatever. This was early days in California. But man, that was some funny shit. He did not react well, as most people wouldn't, especially if like you're not growing. But he was pissed, which is so funny because he's like the most like easygoing,
Yeah.
peaceful dude. But anybody, when people fucking come to your house and start asking questions and like wanting to look around, like that's fucked, man. We have a Fourth Amendment for a reason, and I don't know. Police should be doing much more valuable shit than that.
He made a lot of good content, a lot of great content he's made.
Dude, what I've been seeing and just admiring more so lately, I know it's been out there for a long time, but these fucking giant pumpkin growers, like that shit is so amazing.
Insane.
It's almost like an invasive plant. If you look at it, how it grows, like I don't know if they're like pruning it to make it just have the one giant one, or if it always grows like that. But it's like a whole field of like green leafy veg.
Supporting one
like,
pumpkin.
Yeah.
You make it happen. Yeah.
Oh man, every time I planted an outside garden, I throw my hat into that fucking ring every fucking time. The giant pumpkin and sunflowers, giant sunflowers. I like to fucking grow some big old fucking sunflowers, tall motherfuckers. I've had some 16-footers with heads like peppers. I like hot peppers too, but man, yes. But you know what's weird is you're right, Jack. Pumpkin is a very invasive thing, man. I had pumpkins next to fucking other like kind of weird fruit like fucking zucchini and shit like that. And they ended up getting like weird, man. The zucchini wasn't like zucchini, man. It really kind of took on this like pumpkinish kind of shape and taste. It was like, how in the fuck is this happening? Yeah, no, for real.
Dude, I think they're close enough in families. Like there's like pluouts and fucking apriums. They've like mixed plums and apricots, and I don't know, like that shit's possible. Like mustard all comes from like the mustard plant made like so many fucking like broccoli and all this different shit that doesn't even look anything like
the original like Great Dane and a poodle. Come on now.
That's my dogs, Chihuahua.
You've never met Coco.
Chihuahuas and Rottweilers and all these other cool dogs. Coco got it on with the Chihuahua. He's a big Boston Terrier. He's like a 60-pound Boston Terrier, which is probably mixed already. Looks like a little pit bull sometimes.
You guys ever see a Great Pyrenees?
Sounds fucking.
I know, but I want to be able, I have, but I want to be able to tell you remember what it was.
Let's see.
It's a big ass white dog. My in-laws have two of them, and they're fucking. I didn't know about them until I met my in-laws. They have like a 550 to like 700-pound bite force. It's like one of the top bite strength dogs, but it almost just looks like a large like yellow lab. If you don't know what it is, but it's way fucking bigger. But yeah, they're crazy.
Dude.
And you're right. That compared to like a Chihuahua, they're all fucking dogs, right? All originally from fucking wolves.
I've literally seen my 6-inch baby teacup Chihuahua literally stuck on almost a Great Dane size dog. Just fucking. Because she was having a white trash party. Seriously. I'm telling you. I've seen it. Seriously. It's funniest, weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. The little dog stuck on that big dog like that. I'm like, how in the fuck did this happen? Fucking weekender dogs. True though. It happened. Weird. True story though.
Yeah.
I love dogs.
Did the Chihuahua get knocked up?
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
had puppies?
Yeah, fucking the weirdest mix
What?
of like teacups and bigger sized dogs. Yeah.
Now, were they coming
That-
out like the size of the Chihuahua?
It's fucking the one I've seen some that came out of her that were like, yeah. He was like, yeah, how is this even possible? Yeah.
Bro, were they freaks? Did you hang out with the puppies?
Huh?
Did you hang out with the puppies?
Yeah.
Were they cool? Or
Yeah. Yeah.
weren't like
We've
special?
I still have no, they're all Coco's had way too many dogs. Seriously,
Yeah.
Coco's
How many litters is that dog?
too
birth?
many. Too many.
Too many. That's
Too
the best
many. I
thing.
don't even want to think about the exact number.
Oh,
Hey,
you
well,
were
she wanted
saying
it, man. You said
slut.
she's been a horn dog ever since forever.
You
So
made of that, like that eagle.
I don't mean that dog. No, that didn't come.
Dogs take after
all
their
right,
owner.
you want
Where
the
did
real
I
story?
learn? I
Yeah,
learned
where
it
that
you,
comes from?
Dad.
So let's
No.
see here. Coco's what? 3 generations out from mom. So we got Angel for my youngest daughter, Courtney, wanted a dog for Christmas. So fucking we went out and looked for a dog, and we ended up finding a Chihuahua in Saginaw. And we drove like fucking an hour to Saginaw. And this may be a little racy, but it's fucking true. But fucking we drive to Saginaw and we knock on the door. And it's this Mexican family, large Mexican family at that, with a ton of Chihuahuas. There, I don't know how many litters they had, and that was literally Christmas. They're like, but there was a line at the door. They're like, which one? And they grabbed it, they took your money, they fucking gave it this shot right there. Here you go. Merry Christmas. And then the kids running in the background going, are we going Christmas shopping? Hold on. We're almost done. And there's like just a line of people out. They were just like, this one, bang. Here you go. Merry Christmas. This one, bang. Merry Christmas. And Angel, you could tell, was like from almost, I don't know, like a dog mill, like we'll say, because man, we brought Angel home, and the first time she went in, we had other male dogs. Unreal. She would literally like see the male drop and go to her belly and just open her legs wide up and just let the dog lick on her. We're like, no. And we'd like put her over the fence, and literally we'd have like all the male dogs would be on one side of the fence, and Angel would back her ass right up to the gate and let her lick them fucking right through the safety gate. So all that comes from grandma. It is bred down into Coco.
That's great. She got it from her grandma.
Who is, the full bred Chihuahua.
Awesome. It's in her genes to be that
that's
way.
too funny. Hey, it's the procreate gene to survive. You want to pass those genes on.
Yeah, it's serious. So that's a good line. That's
Do you ever get your dogs fixed?
on time, seemingly. I actually looked at Angel the other day, and I was like, because I've seen like just the dogs I've owned and bred accidentally over the years.
Pollen truck. Pollen truck.
Fucking, I
dog
looked at
breeding.
Angel and I'm like, do you know how many dogs you're responsible for? How many lives? I look back and you're like, damn, since we've had Angels, we must put out damn only 50 pups or some shit like that. It's a long line, and I'm sure along the way, them dogs have probably been. I know there's people in the chat that have some of them dogs. Shout out, man. They love them dogs. Some dogs are awesome though. I haven't found one of them. They all have their own personality. That's for sure.
You get stuck on a few of them and they end up staying around.
Yeah.
How many do you got at this? What's the head count right now?
3.
Okay,
3 boys.
that's reasonable. That's very reasonable. Three is a lovely home with 3 dogs. You start getting more than that, in my opinion, it's a lot to handle. But I love
Yeah,
dogs.
but that little thing, that freaking wind up.
Even little ones, man, they got a lot of energy.
Tribe mentality, dude. They do what they want when they're all together. They don't
3
listen.
finger nose. How many dogs you
They see a
got?
car
3
and they want to
fingers,
chase
8?
it. No, if they want to chase something, they're gonna try to chase it. If they see another dog, they're gonna try to get that one dog. And I'm like, you guys can't do this shit, dude. Like, there's 12 of
What's
you.
your dog
11?
count? What's your dog
11.
count?
I had
Well,
10 up until earlier this year.
I had 12. I had 16 at one time. Fucking 12 now.
Do you recognize every single one? Know all their names?
Yep. It's so easy too. That's why, like, my mom's like, "How do you do it?" And I'm like, "You have no idea."
When you live with them, you get to know them.
Yeah,
They really all have personalities.
They all have fucking personalities, and they suck sometimes. They're always the brat, like 1 or 2 brats, and I love them so much for being those brats. I'm like, you little brats, fucking love it.
It's amazing how I honestly, like, it parallels a lot to cannabis breeding. Like when you see 2 different parent type genetics, and then you have the offspring, and like how it can share traits in both like its look and different qualities. Like with cannabis, the smell, the high. With dogs, like the personalities. Like some are more laid back, some are just really high energy. And like golden retrievers were one of the dogs that I was with this week, and they're just like the easiest going. They get along with pretty much fucking everybody. They do get defensive around balls and shit sometimes, but like most people can handle the golden retriever. It's a pretty easy dog, but there's a lot more difficult ones out there. Funny enough, like even like a poodle or a Dalmatian, which both have like pretty big acclaim in like movies and media, so I'm sure a lot of people got them. But those can be tough dogs to own. They're like stubborn and difficult to train.
So it's weird. I've seen this with a lot of breeders. You know what I mean? It's the what they taken away from other breeding. Breeding chickens, breeding dogs, breeding da 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 da. I can see how they've learned so much about breeding other stuff than them breeding cannabis, because one of the crazy things I've seen about like as many dogs as have ran through our hands, you know what I mean, is every so often, that's why I have Buddy and Little Buddy. They're spit out an identical twin from something way back. I can see like a great, you know what I mean, great grandpa or something, you know what I mean, will come out and there's 2 daisies. We have 2 daisies, Big Daisy, Little Daisy, spitting images, almost clones of one another. You know what I mean? And it seems to come out every 4th or 5th generation. You know what I mean? It's something from way back. You just a twin, but just a little bit of personality off. You know what I mean? She might just be a little bit bigger, but definitely twins. You can see that in cannabis too. You breathe in a little bit further and you start seeing some definite traits of some of the stuff you started with.
It is amazing, like the grandparent genetics that poke out, like the smells and the taste and even the physical appearance, like with some of the newer stuff like Freak Show and ABC, or I don't really know how new that is actually, but it's just fascinating. It can not pass it for a generation or 2, and then like 3rd or 4th generation to start showing up again. and like you're saying, be almost an exact visual replica. Maybe a slight bit larger or smaller, but like the coat and the eyes and everything, it looks like you can compare photos of one dog to the other, and it's like identical, but you just know different years. Yeah. So I think Neville was a bird breeder, one of the guy at the seed bank, and he bred birds. And that was how he got into breeding at an early age. And I know Mr. Soul is breeding, I think it's alpacas or llamas or something. He lives in Colorado. He has like a ranch. I think it's alpacas.
Yeah.
And he breeds them. And he's like, breeder's gonna breed. I'm like, man, it's such an interesting thing. So I get it if you're into that. It's sort of like an inventive thing, like being an inventor of objects, but you're working with live things. Even like chickens, like you were talking about earlier. I like this group called Happy Eggs. They're a little expensive, but you know, they give them a little bit more space, and they only have like 3 or 4 different types of chickens that they get eggs from, and each one you'll know when you like look at the shell. It's very distinctive. As far as like commercial eggs go, I'd say they're probably some of the better ones you can get, but very expensive. But you could tell like the fucking yolk is so dark. It's like orange, like golden. It's not like, I grew up eating the very cheapest egg possible at the grocery store. We had 4 kids and my parents were teachers, so it wasn't like we were balling. And I was used to pale yellow yolk, like light, very light yolk. And when I finally had like really good eggs, it kind of fucking changed. You don't even need to season them at all. Like you could put salt and pepper on there, whatever, hot sauce, whatever you're into. But a fucking egg by itself, it blew me away that could be like the most amazing, delicious thing. And my in-laws are fantastic cooks. Shout out to my mother-in-law. She hooked me up with, I don't know if I was ever tried ghee before, but she made some eggs with ghee. To me, it just kind of tasted like butter, but damn, they were good. I've been getting over the COVID, and that meal, some French toast she hooked me up with. Man, a good meal, it's amazing how good it can make you feel when you eat something well cooked, hot. Such a pick-me-up. Comfort food is real, at least for me, you know, Midwesterner. It's I definitely think, I mean, shit, you literally get nutrients from it. So if you're gonna go to comfort for something, I think food, unless you're like morbidly obese, it's probably a good thing. I'm making myself hungry. I just heard my stomach growl.
I'm glad you're eating again, Jack.
I never stopped, man. The RSO, I was taking massive doses of 1-to-1 RSO and high THC RSO.
Don't stop.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not. I got a little lazy with the making it, and so my wife got a little steady supply.
Cool.
From her work, and it's nice because with this stuff, it's I know the exact dosage of what I'm putting into me. And,
no, that's no fun.
It helps as far as I don't know. I do look at it like a medicine.
Yeah, you're right.
But
make sure you get at least enough.
Enough,
but now,
yeah.
You know, we were talking about he knows all the dogs. Did you guys know any twins? I had twins in my high school that I hung out with. And when I first met them, I didn't know which one was which. And then for a little while, I can only tell them which one was which when they were next to each other. But eventually, I knew which one was which one, motherfucker. You know, they couldn't fucking, I would know.
They're not going to fool you.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up how that happens. And they were identical. You know, obviously, they were identical twins.
Identical is very different than fraternal, because I knew fraternal twins
I knew boy and
identical
girl.
twins. So the identical twins, I was like not super close with them. So to be honest, I couldn't tell them apart if they tried to fuck around.
Right.
But the fraternal, they were so opposite. And there's even like brother sister that are twins.
Yeah, I knew
like
a brother
boy girl
sister fraternal twins. Yep. What's up, Ryan? Cheers. I knew one of those too, fraternal twins. But yeah, like they could pull over and teach us, because if you didn't see them both at the same time, like, yeah, it took me a little while. It takes a little while. You got to hang out with them both at the same time too, to know to be able to tell. I think, I don't know. That's
These
how
kids, the identical ones, they pulled one over just to see if they could on teachers, and like they had one of them would study for math, like just math, and the other one would study for just social studies or whatever it was.
That's pretty funny.
He would just ace the test twice in a row, and then his brother would ace the test twice in a row, but they would go to the bathroom and like change clothes and wear whatever the other one was wearing in between classes, and no one ever detected it.
That's pretty good.
I was in wrestling throughout school, and we had a couple twins that were they were our two lightweights, and they both fluctuated their weight so that if one was overweight, the other one would switch in with him.
You know what? All the twins, now that I think about it, that I kind of knew were like they were pretty good at they were good at whatever they were good to.
And they were both varsity. They both made state and shit.
Think about this. It's like having a sibling that is the exact age as yourself. And so even if you're not with a parent, you always, for the most part, have
two brains on the same.
Yeah. You're both like working, or you can entertain yourselves and speak to each other. And so I think that twins in that way have some sort of a mental and physical advantage in life. They're like,
I think you're right.
It's a benefit. I definitely think if they can afford to feed and clothe both of them, go through all the bills of raising a child at one time, because it's unexpected. But I do think having a twin definitely presents some advantages. There's also disadvantages, like socially your whole life. I lived next to Twinsburg when I was a kid. Twinsburg is a city in Ohio. I lived by there, and they have Twins Day. And I have cousins who are twins who would go to this Twins Day.
Dude. So, you know, I just realized, think about how many times, like even now, my nephew was like, he wants to go play, have a catch with his mom or whatever. But if you have your twin, you always have someone, and if like they're your twin, they want to do the same shit. So you could like, because I was just thinking, I know these two dudes that were twins that played on a different soccer team. I didn't know them, the Dench brothers, but they were freaking really good at shit at us. They played soccer, and I forget what other sport I watched them later on, but yeah, they ended up being really good at shit. But they have twice as much practice time because they could practice all the time if that's what they're into, man. Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's pretty smart.
My little sister married to a twin.
Damn.
Oh wow, that's cool. Are they identical or fraternal?
Identical.
Wow.
It's to the point where she says that she's screwed him up before. She goes, until they talk, she can't tell.
Damn.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, some of them are literally like, especially if they both keep relatively the same health. Because like if one of them, for example, they get separated and one of them becomes like hooked on a very heavy drug and the other one has a healthy lifestyle, you see them 15 years apart, you're going to know which one is which. Because, you know, again, one of them is going to be missing teeth and the other one's going to be perfectly healthy and fine. But
that's weird because they're both 35 years old, you know, or something like that, and they both still look identical.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So they must have probably kept a fairly close relationship and keep a pretty similar lifestyle.
I think so.
You know, I think they found twins that even were separated for a long time, or
they
even
pick the same toothpaste and shit.
As the kids, right? When they find themselves later on in life, they're almost the same, like went down the same paths and everything.
It shows more in identical twins, for sure. Identical twins, the nature versus nurture matters a lot more with the
it wasn't like Hitler wasn't Hitler doing experiments on twins or wanting to make twins, whatever?
Maybe.
There was some town in Argentina that had excessive amounts of twins, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to Google that shit later.
I ran track in college, and there was identical twins. They were like long jumper, high jumper, triple jumper girls, and I was in high jump, long jump, triple jump as well. And they said that they had like their own twin language when they were babies. Like no one else would speak this language, but they could communicate to each other. And it's kind of like, I guess there's like phonemes and shit when you're kids, like you're learning language, but this continued, I guess, for like years. They were able to speak, and they probably still do. Fuck, who knows? I guess anybody can create a language, but when you're just like living with somebody all the time, you can definitely, I don't know, form new ways of communication.
I wonder if they could telepathically do it if they were close enough. Their brain waves got to be close, right?
Something. I mean, some of them, they share the same fingerprint. If one of them commits a crime, they have the same fingerprint as the other one.
Oh, that's how they get away with a lot of shit. Those freaking sneaky twins.
You never know.
Me, my twin brother. I swear it,
Watch out.
officer. That's it, man. I'm staging my death and coming back as a twin.
Well, you're Vin Diesel's twin, so.
Oh shit! I said that out loud. Fuck the Rock, motherfucker.
Very Machiavellian of you.
Never did hear any ill comments, or that I don't think none ever happened with that episode. The one I tagged with the Rock, and who else did I throw under the bus? Oh, the Liver King. Wasn't the Liver King I had in there too?
You deserve to get thrown under the bus when you lie about fucking taking roids for a long ass time, and then you finally get busted.
Dude, that's why I stopped watching baseball. That was it, man. Fuck them freaking.
I take the Daniel Tosh side. I want to watch the baseball league where they're all juiced up, put the fucking fences back to like 1,000 feet, have Barry Bonds type motherfuckers still jacking it way out of the fucking San Francisco, hitting it into the bay, literally in the water.
Do you think it'd be like a whole different thing? We'd see like fucking Instagram fucking, posts like fucking baseball players all ripped, just hitting trees and shit, just whack, 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 whack. You know what I mean? Training and shit. All psycho-like and shit. Yeah.
Dude, that guy was taking so much shit. It wasn't like he was just taking a little. Like, he was juiced to the gills for years, and he still is. Like, it's sad because if he doesn't keep that up, he's taking like $15,000 a month worth of steroids. Like, he is juiced to the gills. Like, if he doesn't keep that up, he will have serious medical issues, which he put himself in an unfortunate situation, I would say. Like, that's not a great lifestyle, even though he tried to present himself as like some ancestral primal. Oh man, it's people will sell some sorts of dreams, and I don't think that there's anything necessarily wrong with a lot of healthy proteins, and organ meat can be good for you. Some of the shit that he did talk about is positive, but I don't think it's gonna make you fucking look like the Hulk over there.
It will if you do $15,000 worth of steroids every month.
And you got to work out
at the gym. Yeah,
you got to work out.
Steroids don't just gonna happen.
You know what I think about?
I know kids who took steroids and got fat in high school. I played football. A bunch of kids took steroids and didn't get jacked. You got to fucking still work your ass out hard to fucking.
Yeah, let me tell you this. Let me ask you guys this. I thought about this long and hard now because the guy, remember Walter Hudson? He was so big he couldn't fit through the door. They had to cut the wall open to get him out.
There's been a lot of those over the years. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. You know what I'm talking about. Those motherfuckers have to eat, man. Stop. To get to that, that's gotta be like work, dudes. Eating enough to be that level has to almost feel like work.
You'd think they'd have like a lower jaw that was like 5 times the size as normal or something.
Dude, look at the fucking Rock. I watched a video of him like preparing tilapia for himself. It wasn't like he ate like 1, 2, 3. It was like he ate like 11 or fucking 12. Like, he wakes up so early in the morning and just starts lifting weights and eating because he has to do that to become he's a superhuman.
Just I mean, like literally, it goes the other both ways. To become stupid built muscle, you got to eat quite a bit, and to be fat enough not to get through the door, you got to eat quite a bit. But
it's what you're eating too. I mean, even
if you can't get through the door,
just eat garbage.
How are you freaking hitting the shitter? You know what I'm saying?
That's a problem,
dude. What the hell? How could
some things just don't need to be thought of? Some things,
dude, there's no way that people listen. All right, this is the other thing now. If they're that big, it is exactly like Jabba the Hutt, dude. They can't leave the building. Someone is feeding them a mountain's worth of food every day as well.
Yeah, that's that. Like that one
There's a
show.
well in this. That's a sickness. So
You know,
really-
that's
You
where
can DoorDash now. It can come right to your door, Tal. They just have it dropped off on their front porch. They,
well,
you know,
the guy can't get up to
Get
get
up.
through this bedroom door to answer the front door to get the meal. He can't
The
eat.
door's unlocked. The
Hey,
door's
lay on the
unlocked.
we live in the day and age of drones, baby.
The drone comes through the window, bring about food. I'm hungry. Can't
hey, Amazon was gonna start delivering packages with drones. They might already be doing it.
Oh fuck! Yeah, I think it's
I've got a distant relative that was
somewhere.
Cheers, me
Cheers,
all
Mayo.
flower.
Terps of-
Good
Santa.
morning. How's everybody?
Good.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Same to you,
Yeah,
Mio.
holidays.
Good to see everybody. Happy holidays, chat. I didn't get to fucking see anybody. Can you hear me?
We can
We
hear
can
you.
hear you.
Yeah.
All my family's flights got
Everybody
canceled,
doing?
Mayo. All my family's flights got canceled. I got to see half the family because we drove there, but I also got COVID, so that was kind of a bummer. But happy holidays to you, Terps in the morning. I hope you're well.
To the season. Yeah.
When you ask how you're doing, my dad used to say, it's good to be seen, and he's no longer with us. So we talked about that a little at the beginning, and even just being here another day is always lovely. Hearing your voice, man, fucking, I love that this show is actually international. Like, we're not just bullshitting when we say that. Like, this fucking is the Weed Nerd world, fucking worldwide. You can hear it when you watch the show.
We got the
Well,
1 minute
why-
warning on the East Coast.
Yeah,
Pack them if you got them.
that's for fucking sure.
I'm still
yeah.
smoking that original
Happy
joint.
holidays, Mio.
Happy holidays, Tal. Nice to hear your voice again. How's all the grandchildren, Eagle?
Good. Good.
Any more coming?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
My
Oh,
button
it's
up
lovely, isn't it?
addiction
It's
is
different.
growing though.
It's a
What
different thing with little babies around.
The
Yeah.
button up addiction.
Oh, yeah.
I'm collecting them button ups like fucking crazy.
Flannel
Even-
daddy.
Yeah, it's even now to the point like, you know, at holidays, you know, when people know that thing you're like really into and shit. For this year, it was like everybody noted the button up and shit. They're like, oh, let's get it one. Let's get a new one. So
Cheers, everyone.
Oh, it's nice to have a good button-up shirt, I think. It's nice to look smart now and again.
I dig it.
Yeah.
My dad always said, if you
It's
look good, you
amazing
feel
what
good.
grandchildren do to you. It's amazing.
They say dress for success too. I think there's something to it. If you dress up a little bit, you get in that mind state of like, I'm gonna get shit done. I'm a fucking, not only gonna get shit done, I'm gonna look good while I do it.
It didn't work the last time for me. I almost got arrested for public nudity.
Oh, hey.
I
Almost.
want to put my best self out there.
First impression.
That's why he said almost.
No.
That lady cop was very
You
forgiving.
haven't?
After Tao slowed down and she saw what he was working with.
What? I'm the only one.
I missed what you said. I'm sorry.
What's the nudity in public charge? I'm the only one. Oh,
It's the only one?
I should have gotten a few. I very well should have gotten a few of them, but I have not. Thank goodness.
I don't know. Yeah, there was a couple drunken stupids that I found myself quite exposed to the world, but one in particular I remember slightly. I had
Yeah.
my belt and my pockets and my underwears on, and that was it by the time I got home.
Oh my God.
vodka is definitely my nemesis as far as drunking and nudity there. For one, I actually had I peed. I got out one time coming home from a Pink Floyd concert, and we had pulled over behind a building, and I think it was actually like I don't know, somehow or another they had it short circuit TV, and I peed in front of that camera practically before I fucking had the thing in my pants. They were there. And then it fucking vodka. I used to drink vodka. I mean, it's a damn good thing I gave up alcohol when I did.
Me too.
But man, I used to like take fucking vodka and just like fucking Mohawk, the red label, the 100 proof, and just fucking dump like Kool-Aid in there and just drink vodka like straight out of the bottle and would put away like a fifth easy. And
Damn.
fucking at that point, and by the end of that bottle, I was most certainly fucking streaking through the party. At one point, I remember at one party actually like running through and like off the second story balcony, butt ass naked into the pool, just like rinse, lather, repeat. Yeah, wow, wow.
Frank the tank.
It's a good thing I don't drink anymore.
When I was in college, I fucking went. We had a hot tub in our neighborhood, but it was probably half a mile from our house, up a fucking hill, and I was blacked. Not completely. I was like 90% blacked out. I remember a few chunks of this. I remember like thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna go to the hot tub," and then I remember walking home from the hot tub. I don't remember actually being in the hot tub, but I was soaking fucking wet, butt ass naked, just towel, no swim trunks, because my roommates were like, "Oh yeah, we'll go," and then I was like tired of waiting for him. I was probably fucking way too drunk, and ran there. When I got back, everybody was asleep. I was locked fucking out, butt ass naked, and I lived on the second story. I like knock on the door, no one's fucking opening up. So I stacked a trash can on the side of my house. This is like fucking really late at night, thank God. But put like a lawn chair on top of that and a yoga ball in the lawn chair and climbed all of that butt ass naked, popped my screen out of my window, dive into my fucking house. That was the most debaucherous, probably drunken naked story I've got for you, but goddamn, alcohol will make you do some crazy ass shit. Well, that's got to be within you. I'll take ownership of it. I did it. But the alcohol assisted it, certainly. It lowers the inhibition to that level where you're just like, fuck it. This sounds fun. There's not going to be any consequences to this. Thankfully, there wasn't in that circumstance, but could have very well ended up in a public nudity.
Thank God I was the receiving end of that equation a couple times. Thank you, ladies.
Yeah, there was like a event at certain colleges where people like go streaking like in giant groups of butt ass naked people running around. But I think it's like sanctioned.
To the quad.
We had one. It was like an undie run for some fundraiser, men and women's health, I think.
There's one in the cities every year in Minneapolis.
San Fran has one too. I think it's called Beta Breakers. People just wear whatever, but there's a lot of streakers.
I think the Minneapolis one is a naked bike ride.
Okay, I would not ever think about getting on a bike naked.
Yeah, you get
dirty seeds, bro.
You don't want to get caught in that too.
Oh man, there's a nude beach here in San Diego. It's called Black's Beach. It's kind of a little bit of a hike, but it's actually a good surf spot. Do any of you guys surf or know how?
I snowboarded and shit or skied. The first time I went to California, I went to Pismo Beach, and there was a guy there that was a surf instructor with one leg. I thought that was kind of funny.
Hey man,
never asked me about it, but
Bethany Hamilton has got one arm. She fucking crushes it. She got her arm bit off by a shark, but she fucking still shreds. It's amazing what some people are capable of. I got beaten in a high jump by a guy who had one leg. He had his other leg was like a spring. He didn't jump off of it, but it was light.
So he used it though.
Yeah,
he could run. I was like, how is a one leg dude beating him in a high jump? But now I get it.
He jumped high as fuck. he would beat,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
he was the
pretty
top
cool.
1% of the world. I mean, this guy
I can
was
jump high
fucking
into a
unbelievable.
tree.
I was, not to like toot my horn, I was at a fucking high level, and this guy was, I
It's
think
kind
he's
of
the
like
best
being a
Paralympic.
jockey on a horse, right? He has a lot less weight.
Yeah. I mean, when you're jumping, I knew a guy I met when I was in New York at the Sullivan Awards. I met a guy named Kyle who had no arms, no legs, but he wrestled and does jujitsu. And wrestling is a weight class thing, like we were talking about earlier. And because he had no arms and no legs, and he worked out really fucking hard, he'd like put his straps on and fucking go hard as hell in the gym. He was muscular as hell for his size. And the people that he'd go against, you know, were much skinnier comparatively to
That was
his
the
like
same thing.
torso.
My,
He
my,
would-
older,
He
my
fucked
older
people
brother
up.
was my older brother's a brick shit house, and he's like 6'6", 275 or something like that, just like solid rock. But he was a big kid all through high school, and he was our varsity wrestler for 4 years. And everyone that he wrestled was he'd always wrestled these big fat guys, so it was just kind of weird to watch. And I mean, it was never until like state finals where he'd finally actually wrestle someone that was his own size and shit.
Man, I just watched a fucking, basically it was a torso. He had arms though, and he was fighting in the UFC, and he had just won his first match. And it was that's a toughie though. I mean, at one point, I mean, especially when we're talking UFC like that, I mean,
I'd feel weird punching or kicking him.
yeah, I was watching it, and the dude was like, "Come on, I don't want to do this and shit." But once he got a hold of that dude, man, and fucking started kicking his ass, I think he was thinking a little bit different story. He swiped him up. He did too. He gave him like one like kind of all right, I'll do it. That dude fucking just snatched him up and fucking started kicking the shit out of him. And at that point, I bet he was
just like ground and pounding him.
fucking hit him. Yeah, oh yeah. He was probably thinking, "Oh man, I should have fucking hit him." Shit. He did, man. He just fucking. It was like a minute and a half into the first round. The guy had just fucking fucking totally kicked his ass and shit.
You used to wrestle, right, Eagle?
Yeah, I wrestled for a long time.
Do you ever
I
do
had to wrestle
judo?
a girl in fourth
What's
grade.
that?
Oh, sorry,
A girl?
sorry.
No, yeah, go ahead. I knew a few girls that wrestled. They're actually
so
really
I-
good because they
had to
mature
go-
earlier than boys do. So at the same age, they're often stronger or taller than boys. So often they'll be very fucking good wrestlers, funny enough. And they'll like fuck, you know, young men up. Not
I
only
think she
at
was-
wrestling, but mentally, because they're like, "Oh, I got beat by a girl," you know, and all the people that feel like the masculinity is shamed. Even
She was
though
a twin. She was a twin too. I can remember that for some reason.
that's
Like,
hilarious. We were talking about that
had a
earlier.
video of it of me I had such a huge smile on my face, just laughing. And then like I kind of got a little bit complacent, and she started to fucking like she got me on my back a couple times, I think. And I finally pinned her in the end, but it was still like, yeah, if I wouldn't have fucking had my wits about me, she'd have fucking hurt me.
It just as easily could have gone the other way, you know. And I do jujitsu, and often it's with girls that are higher belt level, and they're fucking in that format, like Ronda Rousey or like those types could easily fuck someone like myself up, even though I'm pretty fucking experienced. Like I love judo. I haven't practiced it enough, but I really love judo and jiu-jitsu.
I had the
And,
advantage of having that huge brother, because we'd always fucking wrestle and shit.
Well, that was the same here. I had two older brothers, and they beat the hell out of me. So when I finally figured out like the UFC was a thing, and I saw Hoist Gracie, that dude, like the one they made UFC 1, 2, 3, and 4 were won by this dude Hoist Gracie, who was this skinny little guy who did jiu-jitsu. He'd come in with like the gi on, and the family, the Gracie family, was the one who put on the show. And they had him back in the day. It wasn't like MMA now is like all these guys know how to box, kickbox, you know, judo, jiu-jitsu. They know a little bit of everything. And back in the day, it was like there was a guy who did karate, who did fought against a guy who did jiu-jitsu, like, fought against a guy who was like sumo, and they fought like 3 or 4 times in a night. And like there wasn't the timer wasn't 5 minutes; it counted up. It was literally fight until like the end. The only thing was like no eye gouging, And like, there's a few basic rules, like no biting. But one of the first fights, dude got his teeth kicked out. It was like brutal. It was so much more hardcore at the beginning.
I almost think it's the other way. Almost like with growing, the same thing we talk about, like entry level growing. Just as you touched on, man, you don't see that like just singularity, technique. These fuckers are coming in, they're good at fucking everything. So it makes more for, I don't know, I think a more better fight myself.
I love it. Like Lyoto Machida, black belt in jiu-jitsu and karate. He was so exciting to watch. He could like knock you out with a kick. Anderson Silva, great at jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai. Like, it's fascinating. I love it. I love both the history, the early UFC 1 to like, I don't stay up with it, but I appreciate it as a art. And I think martial artists should be respected because they actually have the ability to kick people's ass if they wanted to, and most people don't. And so they show restraint.
Wasn't there a big jiu-jitsu tournament on in America over the Christmas?
I don't follow closely enough.
I think the biggest one was on, just happened.
The one I watch is like High Rollers, where they get stoned and fucking do jiu-jitsu. Eddie Bravo, like Joe Rogan's conspiracy theory buddy, he actually was a big influence in my jiu-jitsu. He got me into the rubber guard so I can like pull my foot up, like put it all over my head and shit. But you can choke somebody a lot easier if you're more flexible. So he has a system called the rubber guard, which I used to go to open mats at wrestling in high school and like try out some of these techniques. And there's some amazing control you can get as a much smaller, weaker person, or even if you're like larger and more athletic than someone and you have technique. The amount of control you can exhibit in a fight is amazing.
Did they teach you to dodge a bullet, Jack?
No, but the best thing to dodge a bullet is your words and just avoiding the situation. Don't be at the places and the times where the things happen.
There you go.
Don't be out too late. Don't be fucking getting involved with too hot-headed people. Be good to people. I personally believe that if you're good to people, then generally you're around good people and good things happen to you. Bad shit happens to good people sometimes too, but
I think the majority of people that do any mixed martial arts of any description, are way more calmer, as in they can handle themselves a lot, express themselves a little bit, and they think about if somebody's going to be hitting them, they're actually know what they're going to be doing already. It's not like they're,
it's not the first time.
They've already addressed the person. It's like sometimes you can, by body movement, you can just know what way people are. The stances they start to take, whichever way they're going to approach.
Dude, it's funny. When the internet first came out,
we'd never even had a wrestling thing as kids. There was like boxing and all the other like mixed martial arts. None of the jiu-jitsu. But now every town and village has wrestling and jiu-jitsu, like everywhere. In every community center, it's the only sport. Boxing is like after taking a really bad.
Here's the thing, it proved itself in the UFC. They did such a powerful demonstration that when it was just singular techniques, which most people aren't going to do one martial art, or let alone multiple. So when they watched the UFC, it proved out this smaller, lighter, weaker guy was able to beat bigger, stronger people. What technique did he use? It was jiu-jitsu. So that one at that time was needed. Now so many people know jiu-jitsu. You probably want to have some wrestling too, because they might, if they're trying to take you down, they might know some fucking jiu-jitsu themselves and might try to choke you out or armbar you.
Actually, when I talked to the jiu-jitsu dude earlier this year about studying under him and shit, I had mentioned all the years of like wrestling that I had, and he threw that shit right to the side, like with total disregard. Wrestling. I'm like, oh, fuck you, man.
Here's the thing, Eagle. As somebody who's done both, I appreciate both. But I'll say this: jiu-jitsu takes advantage of everything that's illegal in wrestling. All the stuff you're not supposed to do, no holds, chokes, arm bars, leg bars, knee bars, all that shit. It's all fair game pretty much in jiu-jitsu.
And you have a gi as well that you can hold on to.
Well, you don't necessarily have to do gi. There's no gi jiu-jitsu. I train primarily no gi. I have the gi just out of respect. I went to the Gracie headquarters in California. I got their DVDs or whatever, fucking trained that shit with my brothers and friends and shit. But it's expensive to go regularly. So I just got a base level where I'm like, I don't know, blue to purple belt, I'd say. I'm not officially belted, but I love training, and I've tapped people at higher belts than that. And I've also fucking gotten tapped by white belts. So it's a fun process. It's really humbling. Sam Harris wrote an article called The Pleasures of Drowning about jujitsu. And it's like so slow and methodical. Unlike boxing, where you can get like fucking brain damage from sparring, jujitsu, if you're with a good partner, they go slow, they get you in a fucking position and you tap out and you're fine. You're not gonna die. You're not gonna have your arm broken. You feel that pressure, you feel the pain. It's like, oh fuck, he's got me. I'm fucking done. I'm not gonna be able to escape here. But man, it's like chess in real life. As far as grappling goes, I think there's some really fascinating people that have taken it to extremely high levels, and it almost doesn't even look like something that would be the one thing. It gets to a point where it doesn't become practical in like a street fight situation. I like stuff that would always be practical in an actual real fight situation. Like, even though it's jujitsu and you're not gonna be, punching each other, I'd like to consider positions as far as like, what if, he was gonna fucking be able to hit you in the face. And there's even like a combat jujitsu where they do, I think, some striking and stuff like that. But I don't know. I took
think
enough
it's a very
hits to the
essential
head.
these days. It's essential part of your own thing that you should actually learn some self-defense, and especially if you've got any daughters, introduce them to just the basics. Yeah.
And if they haven't yet, if it's legal in your country, pepper spray. Give them a little pepper spray, because if shit does hit the fan, if they can give themselves a spray and get away, fucking not have to stay and fight or have guns or knives or whatever the fuck else involved.
There's
fucking
one
pepper
that
spray will never kill
really
anyone.
Loud noise as well.
Yeah, like a siren and a light.
Yeah, like there's.
When I was 16, I did some lessons. My roofing bot, the guy that I used to roof for when I was a teenager, he was an Aikido master or something like that. Like, he's got pictures with Steven Seagal all over his fucking walls, or with him and Steven Seagal when he wasn't fat. And just the few moves that he taught me, they stuck with me. And those ones that were like, I can still think of them right now they're still with me.
I'm a little sour on Aikido because
just defensive moves.
Steven Seagal is a little hacky, and the one guy that I know who trained Aikido, I was doing jiu-jitsu, he broke my fucking thumb, and I still fucking feel it, where he was just like way too aggressive in training, and like trying to break a hold. I was holding onto his belt in jiu-jitsu, and like, I don't know, he was like much bigger and heavier and just aggressively like swung his hand through, and I don't know. Aikido is very interesting, and it can be very, very proficiently done. But I think the one issue with most striking martial arts that I found ultimately is if you run into someone who's bigger and stronger, they can take a few blows occasionally, and like the bigger person tends to win in the punching fight. That's why boxing and stuff has weight classes, and even wrestling and jiu-jitsu do. But as we saw, the UFC 1, there wasn't weight classes. Hoist Gracie was going up against people that were much, much bigger and heavier. And he wasn't even the thing that came out later was there's a guy named Hiram Gracie and Horgan. There's a whole bunch of other Gracies, but Hickson actually was the one who was like undefeated. He fought in like Pride and other things, but he was much bigger and stronger. But they didn't want to use him in the UFC because people would think that he was just like muscling people and like overpowering them, and that's why he won. They used the skinnier, like scrawnier family member
like
to demonstrate.
Fucking spider monkeys, man, they choke you out and shit.
Yeah.
I found out during COVID that I've got a distant relative who's still a Krakowski, but he was the Olympic weightlifting coach for Canada for like 15 years or something like that. And he's just a tiny little guy. Like, you would never think if you saw him in a picture that he was a Olympic weightlifting coach, because the people that he teaches, like I watch him on Instagram and shit, and he's got, or on Facebook, I mean, and he's got some big ass people that he trains. But he's like, his pictures look like he's 5 foot, 150 pounds or something like that. Little bald headed guy.
some of those little guys can scrap, even if it's not like jujitsu. I saw this like a TMZ video once. There was like a street fight. This guy disrespected a woman, and then this UFC fighter came and basically like knocked this bigger dude out like in a matter of seconds, and then like fled the scene because he didn't want to fucking get charged. But a bunch of people I guess saw and reported it, but can't think of it. I think his name was Ryan something, but I can't. Anyway,
One of the first fights that I ever saw in real life was there was actually a guy named Ryan, was this big fat, I mean, he was like had to have been pushing 300 pounds, big country boy, and he was instigating a fight with this littler guy that was just kind of a fucking wild card or whatever. And that wild card guy, he gave him one punch that just landed and it fucking knocked the guy down. But there was like 40 people that just all of a sudden popped up out of nowhere in this little small town that we're watching these to go on, and fucking that little guy, he landed one punch and that was it, and that was all it took. We were all just shocked.
Well, boys, I think we're gonna wrap this up. Gonna get to this here newly hardbound. Well, I decided to put a little hard copy on it, so get make it a little safer. I mean, there's actually, let's see, we're up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 papers. 8 is obviously front to back, but the other 7 are front to back. List the name and the shout outs.
Oh, snap.
peace and
All
love.
right, well,
Great hanging with y'all.
Jack,
Thank you for popping in, Jack, man. Always
Peace.
a pleasure.
Ryan, me, all green
Have a good one,
fingers.
Jack. Have a good one, Al. Eagle.
Always
Pleasure for having us.
Appreciate you popping in, man.
Thank you. It's great to see everybody.
good to see you, me, all.
Yeah, happy New Year to everybody, and yeah.
Hopefully we see you before then.
Oh yeah, I'll probably drop in on probably Wednesday.
Right on.
We might partake.
Would greatly appreciate it.
Have a good one, everybody. Chat, everybody. Peace out.
Peace.
Have
Peace
a
out,
nice
man.
one.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Later, Ryan.
Peace out, Ryan.
Sure.
All right, green fingers. And everyone in chat, peace out. Eagle, it's always fucking awesome fucking talking shit with Eagle.
Thank you, brother.
Good to see you, dude. And yeah. Shit happens. No worries.
Like you said the other night, man, sometimes shit happens for all the right reasons, right?
Yeah. It's all gonna work out in the end. All
Usually
right.
does.
Yo, yeah, 2023, man. It's gonna be banging. It's all turning around in 2023. It's not gonna be like
It is. Well, even if you kind of reflect a little bit, a little bit on 22, how much better has my attitude been, and how much better have I looked physically and overall in 22?
Yeah,
You know what I
dude.
mean?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So I expect nothing but good things in 23 myself. On the up
Going
and up.
forward, man. Good work.
Up and up, right?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right, man. Peace out.
Peace.
All right. Yeah. Fucking high as fuck. Love you, Eagle.
Love you, brother.
Thanks for having us. Fucking yeah. Dog's crying in his sleep. Something's wrong. All right. Everybody go plant some seeds.
Give some clones.
give some clones, take some clones, trade some seeds. Fuck, do something.
Peace, brother. Have a wonderful day.
Peace out. Love you. Everybody. Peace.
Love you, brother. Have a good one. With that being said, it is that time. I greatly appreciate you guys for hanging out. I greatly appreciate all the words of wisdom, all the support, 100%. Definitely why I was not going to skip out on the shout outs this evening, because as always, and I've learned more and more, the more grateful you are, the more fulfilling your life will be. 100%. And even though the trials and tribulations, I can say that with a straight face. You know, I am grateful. So with that being said, let's see if I'm still hooked up over here. Yes, sir. All my friends are stoners. Everyone I know gets high. True story. Why weed's not legalized? I got to give me something to drink right quick. One. I got to some Cottonmouth Kings so I get a drink. Oh. Is that what we learned? Woo! Much better. Sub Cool D's House name, I'm Lost 710. Scarecrow 420, Christina MG89, Unplugged 705, Medical McCullough Brick T, the Rebel, the 9207, Fabian Salinas, Dave's Not Here, Tom Spook, Greg Walker, Mendo Dope, T-Dog, Dung Beetle, Red Hot Jedi Groves, Mother Nature, Justin Conway, Duckweed, Run Boy 7426, Justin Gooder, Singman, Okie Grower 75, Corey Treble, Mike Wall, Small Bishop 420, Who's Your Cat Dave Tackle, Rick S. In the Bushes 207, Jane Simmons, Ryan Hahn, Kevin World's Last Hope, Pat's Fan 420 by Winter, Dirt Road Dude, Kanashiba, Jose Ramirez, Red Eye Wrestler, Dab Goblin, Dr. Buzz Lightyear, Acetone, 710 Canuck, Canny Queen, Genetics, Stabby, Tanazi, Poomer, Dirtman, Dan, Keith the Black Cells, Mr. Bosilla, some Premium Darts, Rasta Bob, Small Tubes, Small or Soul Roots, Tyler, Frosty Bud, Storm, Mission, Micro, Weedy Butts, WG Grows, Big Char Grows, AC Monitor to the Gun, Silk, Weed Nerd, John, Last, PPCA 15, Green County Grower, CJ Apple, Perfectly Perfected, Dollar Tree Grower, T1 Productions, Dane Grower, DOA Grow Mets, Miss Nudie Grows, I Grew Some, Johnny Canseed, Nutrient Shootout, Snotty Nicky, Zoe and Slimer, NNY, Pixel Monkey, St. Bernard's, Observation, Clover 420, High Spy, Aldridge 25, Miss Mad, T2 Move, Mug Grower, Mechanic Crate, Loki Grows, Sus This Guy, Burton 79, Polish Hammer, Midwest Outlaws, Voodoo Altars, Fresno Nerds, Kelly Grown, Wolverine Grown, Jimmy One for like Dwayne Block, MNP Nations Creations, Play Way Back Farmer, Amberlon, a Psychedelic Warlock, Sir Sticky, Rob, Big Day 420, Brent Window, G3, The Green Click, JK Triple G, Mr. Sprinkler, Brittany, and Tyler Teasley, Oak Farms, Lisa G, John B, Too Crazy for UBG, WG 420, Dr. Bud 12, Purple Thumb OG, Anthro Sons of Media, Anthro for Just Space 420, Beach Coast Roar 420, Sir How, Trey Balone, Keep It Real, Hagerton 427, Zeppelin, Audit Everywhere, BT, Double D, Rose, Fingers, Green Puffin, Man, Alex Boy, Chef Life, School of Crop, Spells I Love It, Green Mountain Grower, Southwest OK, Real 100, 212, Andy Man, Randy Family Power, Spades Power, Meow Fly, Ryan Henderson, Green 13, New Wins, Kingdom Acropolis, Streamer 77 B, Bad Buddy Nutrients, Mr. Green Pots, Mr. Green Nugs from 619 664, Spaniard, Cougar Jones, and the Girl, Papa G Girls, Raz, Amy Cass, the Girl from Your Heart Podcast, Lenny Luna, Green Med Flock, Jeremiah Miranda, Sony Creek, Lost Heart, Mr. No One, Giant Mike, Prometheus Oil, Jason Ice, No Pete Win, David Colvin, Mason 662, Shorty, Me, Scroggins, the Fourth, Goddess Ghost, Caleb Burrows, Chad and Brad, Family Farmers, Paul P. Dior, Kevin Joder, Mike Honcho, Jay Huggins, UDA, Green County, Green Tree Hunter, Kush Cloud, Joshua Seedson, Organic Home and Bloods, Warren Nelson, Cam Wood, Maine Mystic, Show Love Always, Kelly Stone, Texas OG, Sarge Just Flair, Fresno, Happy Guy, 311, Mix Up, Kender Grows, Evergreen Tree, Hayes, G Fred Tree, MMJ, Save Ball, Dragonfly Beat, Justice Smith. There we go. Travis Wells, Lucky Mike, CL Chronic Seeds, King Chronic Titan from Butts Seeds, Django Gas, More Passive for like John Smith, Tommy Jerko, Both King Grass, Pop Little, Oscar Green Jr., Matt Silver, Indoor 1170, B, Shark Bully 989, Brown 2 Brown, Southern Garner, Solar Nation 420, Joe Y, Bugs 1313, Grove, Painted Lady, Frank Booth, J, Matt S, Say Roll, Spiky Pot, Jay Meyer, Jamid, Chat, Mr. Manny, D Bag Seed, Dr. GG, Jeff, Shredder 911, Dutch Gross 420, Skillbull 1, Medgrower 1, Empire Breeding Co. for Gold Light, Lost Leaf, Liam Mass, Danny Deco, B Bear 7, Alley, Noble, CK, Ton Trinidad, Looney Jester, Smoking West, Small Town, Tim S, Mr. Lazy, Rafter Grows, Rob Automation is Freedom, Robert Hazelton, Dover, Michigan Court, Double Tap Farmers, Mr. Green Thumb 420, 808, Rooting Prospects, Cannon Bus Driver, Hate and Life, Kenny 710, Operation Grow, T-Ben, TM 42069, Root Nut 619, Dr. Scramble, Speed B, Rocky, HF, Double J, Bio Greens, Self Grower 56, Hank Satan 420, OGKB, Ganja Nana, Your Mama, Georgia Joy, Roy Rodriguez, B Growing, Nature's Best Nugs, Killer B Grows, Ganja Wizard, Husky Gardens, Nut Tree 420, Dr. U, Soy for Life 420, Bully for Life 420, the Jeff Pro 42069, B to 698, Dr. Franklin Moody, Goddamn, my Big Ted's Test. Riffin Fat Boy, Jack Greenstock, 420, 420, Boone Farm, Charlie Farms, 420, Aldridge, 25, Smiley's Garden, JT, Smith, T Snug, Smoking, Grow Fraser, Grow Kosky, Twisted Roots, Faded Farmer, 420, Jeff Turowski, Genetic Memory Farms, Devar 420, Cameron, Mr. Bagsy, Joe Carter, Mystic Marks, Mystic Growers, Jensen Snap, TTE, Rose, Rick Wolf, TLP, or Rick Wolf, Ned Denver, Mike Denver, there we go, Sergeant Pepper, 420, Can Trooper, Blind Cat, 420, Light Up Again, Tim, UKSIF 420, Buddha Boy, Def Trevor, Medical, MJ Budsville, USA, Resurrection, Prophet, Chris Martinez, Sarah Wilson, Terry, Dankman Dan, Dickman 420, Red Sun Farms, Good Luck, Joan Bell, Cheats Beast. Most hated growing major channel 420 Armory, the American one, W Digger 714, Sharate Kneels and Mountain Skies ready to hit the high fire for Smurfs, EN Saber, Operating Sergeant Live, Hip Fake Cam, Rich Patch, Notes and Moves, Other PT Grow, Two Medical, Zero Bear, Plus One Mushroom, Secret City Pioneers, My Little Tent, 2042, Spacewalker, Christian Tree, Mump, T Barrington, Heart and Soul, Homegrown, Mike E, T Dwayne, these hosts well, Heidi Day, Galactic Gardens, John Smith, Elliptis, My Natural Farms, Pacific Northwest, Dry Sky Ball, 11, Oka, Trent Tree, Future Life 420, Grant Man, Mayor Bound, 7 Cecil, 9 Inch Colas, Chris Moo, DK Trades, Vision Creator, Cannon Brew, Cannon Nation, Jay Wire, Timothy McKinnon, Neo, Justin Bean, Scotty, KDA, Fat Belly, Real, Jennifer Steele, Kimber 03, Turf Farmer, Shannon Stevens, Carlitos, Latino, Skater Country, Miss Speed, Wolfstein, Firesaw, Wally Wilkie, The Goddess Grows, Wash Bob, White Feather Grows, Burning Shrooms, Shone Grows, Day, K-Man Grows, BX Gun 81, Smith, Noob Grows, Smith, Noob Grows, there we go. Sean McCann, Jay Monk, Stink Agenda, Wawa Kangaroo, Fall Dog, Huron, Kent's Conso. Melissa Pierce, Rock Fan, Just Smith, 420 Bit, Fresh Grow, Thriving Herbs, there we go. Hi, Bo. You may want grows, we've been going Australia, you can go Love with Playing Our Gold American, Smart Poker, Unfrozen Caveman, Hawaii's High Surf Craft, Michael Groon, there we go. Jeff Lowfeld, Mobius Grove, Dang Brownie, Sandy, Elliot Harkins, Mystic Flavor, the Forging Gardner, Overwater, Oakhill, Seattle Steve, Shadow Warrior, Valley Green 514, Million Jensen, Austin, Conductor, MJ Coco, Brandis, Matthew Gates, D Bags, Joe Star, Shotgun Willie, thank you, Jay Simmons, Sherbrooke Rose, Blackman Scoop, DJ Conley, Aaron the Grower, Light 1978, Michigan Grown Blood, Joe Boy, Roy, Delta 9, Jay McCann, Clackamas 420, Steve Goldfield, Sign for PFC Farms, Husky Garden, Sun Growth, Sun 07, J.A. Dro, J420, Cascadian Grow, Tito's McGee, 4.8, J. Weedworks, Captain Scruggs, Cookie Bugs, House Warrior, Jackie Young, Tara Lee Live, Aster, Tempe, Annie, Andy, Dirge, there we go, Green, Junior L, Leon from All Purpose Plus, Green Goose, 11 Smiles, 11, 52 Bugs, Michael Ross, Plenty, Kroski, 808, Weekend at Bernie's, K-Bag, Justin Station, Strong Style, Organic, Sippy, I Medic, Honesty, K-Hell, Meow Flower, Brett Boog, Todd Kendricks, Newton, KT, Chris D, True Serum Post, Photon Folk, Natty Dreads, Barbara Matthews, Angel Soul Grown, Kevin Jiu-Jitsu, Kenny Health and Happiness, Berserk 215, Lab, Low Cut, Average, Genuine, Mo, Manic Men, Raz, Spencer, Helen, Hugh, James T, Atomic Spoon, Miss Jill, Big Daddy, LT Gardens, High Flyer, 420, Lobster, Ross Row, Mother Tree, Main, Red Pill, Yo Boy, Roy Boy, Extending, Sherman, Gibbons, Ruhan, Rick W, Comfortably Numb, One Smoke Away, the 840 Show, Richard Lamb, The Red Pill, 710, once one more. Cottonmouth going there. Cannabis Pursuit came rolling. Worthy Buzz, Logan Man 81, Oil and Flower Podcast, Soundtracks, Effect, Warren Dixon, Pink Lady, Yolanda, Wanda 420, surrounded by Keith Farley, Farms, Friends, to other side, Single Father's Happiness without good. Bob Bobby, Sean Bills, Rescue Ready, Roadside LLC, Notorious Snugs, Magma Seed, Father and Son, Trimming Tutorials, Up D Dank, Jose, Martin Perez, Dog with the Hut 420, Buck Chiba Man, DR 420 Community Videos, Detroit River, Lewis Garcia, Michael P, AJ Everyday, Campus Audit, Chat about the Main 420 Med Grower, Cookie Scoop, Jake Hendrickson for the grill, Captain Audit, there we go. Backwoods all good. Sally Mansell, Adam Stank, and Chanel Simpson, One Smoke Away, got Roads, Kazoo, Aaron, Vernon Shrooms, Mr. Lincoln Sinking, Angel Studios, 420 MG, the 420 Grow Tech, Paul DLA, John Fleming, Jacobitz, 50 Flower, Polly P. Seldom, Scene, Elevated, Lenny, Organic, Sunman, Sunman, Chiba Sunny, there we go, Jeff Pollock, Ricardo Sosa, Dan J, Earth Friendly Farming, Kenny Birds, Farmer, Fuck All That Be, The Misfit Lord, Jason Line, 512, Snake Eyes. Northern 4466, Jason Grayson, Stone Baker, MD, Stony Creek, Ross Sonic, Prince Tarzan, Superman, Old Man, Hermes, Freebird, Moonbird, Manigar, Simple Man, Survival One Time, Tim Black, Golf Coach, Chronic, Steve Fat. I think I doubled up there. Calero, Harley Grower, Jen God, Steve Collins, Todd Kendrick, Property Maintenance, RP, The Island Hayes, Scuba Steve Speaks, JR, Rain, Randy K, TCDR, Claire, Killian, Wardrobe, Friday, Randy, Grande, Pip 1000, Ace, Boo, 3223, Wake Up, Captain Free to Be Puffer, Smiles, 15 Digit, Michigan Gonzo Mooch, Ash, Fred G, Super Bob, Richard Forbes, David Comenta, Before People Can Think of T, John Reach, What About Bob, Bridge, Patty, Daniel Bergman, Green Puffin Man, D. Doug Louis, James Sean, Sarge Rose, 818, John Wayne, Carolina Root, Sister, Ronair, Dana, El Dangarino, St. Fag, 1030, choose one only feed, Farmer James, Crypto Go, Richard Lamb, HIV Grown, Matt Jermaine, Dan Marino, Maine, Chronic Wonders, Sunrise Grove, Top Floor, Genetics, Small Vision 420, K2 Cannabis, Jesse Fisher, My Dog Nelly, Rooster Farms, Alex Hardy Gear. Thank you, my friend. Betty Cropper, Danny Goes Forward, Mitten Grown Men, Sunrise Grove, Alexi, Brittany, and Koo. Love you guys. Do it all. Do it all. I love you guys now more than ever. I swear on my life. No Limit 916, Scrub Toad, Alchemist, Cannabis, Soulborn Edition, Roswell, XD, Video, Catfish, High Power, Thunder Dan, Propagation Station, John McDaniel, Lisa Marie, Sarge Rose, 818, Blaze Haley, Pride, Perpetual, Evil, Private Warrior, Sarah Spawns for you, Frank Sada, Dang, Dungeons, Kino, Kelly, Maxwell, Captain 420, Frank Sada, Sing Fat, What About Bob, Il Jester 420, Sing Pop Shrooms, John Gorski, Jen Doe, Dungeon Gangster, GIC Pro, PTSD, T, Barrington, Hunter, Grown, Swamp Camp, Polero, Canabanco, Best of Because, Jen Doe, Mr. Mandy D, Kenneth Ferrara, 420, AB Normal, Frank Guerrero, Bear Bates, J Brent 74, TK Brown Guy 420, Pachyderm 420, Bjorn and Tree Mate, and Gray Zone, Bro 207, Hydro Daily, Hempwood, Gigi, Jamie Ream, Supreme Grape, Sony Rockefeller, Caveman, Cannabis, Diggity Dank. I almost skipped the page. In fact, I think I did skip the page. I don't think I got it. Oh, if I did get you. I did try to skip a page. Blue City Sin, why is the same one? Midnight Roots, Dead Sickles, Knuckles, Dead City Knuckles, Michael P, Bolly Big, Quick, B, Nibble, Bud E, Kilowatts, and Michael D, 489, Disbanded Brothers, Marcel, Matt Joseph, Grace Medicine RX, Ethan Chief, Hydro Daily, Concerned American, Digging Cannabis, 411, Freedom of Speech, Dr. George Worth, D Streets, Gonzo, Sadugo, 710 is Orla Upside Down, Jesse Stevenson, Victoria Paduch, What About Bob, Sacred Garden, Gus Rose, Slick Rick, Dog Pounds, David St. Louis, Amok Watch, Costain, Getty, Ed Redden, and Drone, Oklahoma, Off Grid Turfs, Christopher Big Force 54, Last Predator, Matthew Sokel, Sioux, Illinois, man, be there, Jinx Pro, Dark Horse Genetics, Stoner Dude, Joel Jet from North Star Genetics, Caroline, Mr. Food Crime, PTA, B13, Leo, Breeder Beyond Perfection, XX Elite, GPXX, Uncle Stoner, Christopher Tree, Kitchen, Growers Paradise, LED Grown, ICD, Joey Bacon, Mrs. Scott, the Fresh Break One, Jay Canna, Jay Allen, that is. Big Bob Rose, Jolly Can of Australian Gold, Chuck 420 Garden, Standing Phillips, Mr. Nowhere Man, Selling Sally, Silly Fucking Seashells, Lucky, Claudie, Goslin, Mountain Key World, Green Galil, CT Garden, Betty Ben, Up and Able, Mr. Mark, Ruben, Christopher Prime, Sandy Mendoz, Green Goddess, Alberta, Canvas Squirrel, Threes Creek, Don Hazel, Matt Nails, John Gall, Goonward, Robert Rittenhills, Pedro Disney, Joey Berger, Mr. DeVille, Mikey from Maui Gold, Genetics, John Mishy, Dangsta, Dragonfly, Earth Medicine, Thunder Dan, Sun Sand, Lewis Sungrown, there we go, Super Bob, Dutch Gross 420, Tough Impact, Mr. Tree, Gypsy Green, Gypsy 1, DOS 247, Dirty Rotten, Imbecile 69, Teddy Gaze, Jetty Bug, Sovereign 8, Pocket Smartphone, B Ridley, Tough, Bell F, Tough Impact, one more time, crazy people doing stuff, Wait Pie, Multiple Division, Patty O, Bears growing and Home Invaders getting no fucking pity, Lucas Gardens, Crack Babies, TWC, Shorty for Life, Token Pirate, Shorty for Life, Token Pirate, Brittany Nicole, Sacred Guards, Ross, Super Joy, One Love, No BS, Pretty Pepper, Whipper, Frank, Roddy 420, Jeff J. Reese, Dog Days Garden, Carol Reed, 54, 420, Green Goddess, Lucille, Pearly Breakers, Christ, Trichomes, Jungle, Diggity Day, Gal, the Beastly, Floor Camp, Swimmer 22, The Grow Ball, Sim Clemmer, NB, Closet Grower, Blinded by the Light, Weed Player, Eddie Grow No Home, sorry about that, Miss Vicious, Doc Hallis, Mr. Toad, Mr. Uncle Rick, Mr. 1212, Miss Cassie, the Pirate Trailer, Mark Leafly Hill, Pandycat PK, Urban Remo, the Red Dragon Brothers, Journey of a Grower, Dab Hunter, JG, Gmail, Leafly Whaley, Cam the Kenny Man, High Type PG, the Humble Local 2.0, Nick D, K, you're good. Zachary G, Say Your Will, P.U. Eddie Alvarez, Turbo Wilzer, Paisley Acres, S.103, Turbozilla, MK Autographs, DK, Chilbert, UK, Brandon Harris, 710 Connoisseur, Phoenix Fisherman, Hemp Knight, Cottonmouth Grow, Icy Cold, Shirley Moss, DK's, Driving Miss Hazy, Herb Conscious, Woody J, Roy Dugan, Marijuana King, Conjo, Ninja, Oh, what you got? Brian, Justin Kuini, Big Blazer 80, Ryan Kowalski, Marcus Greenthumb, 420 Ben, A Nova, 420 Grow Monster, for the Quiet One, Who Be Growing Doobies, Fire Department 420, Colts Mountain Banana Farmer, Danny's Food Fang, Green Gauge Group, that is. The Coffee Pot, Seymour Cuts, Biosynthetic, Cousin Nikolai, Doc Vapor, Alex 662, TX Weed Hopper, Hank Herb, Davis Kind, Joe P, Space Coyote 82, Pac-Man, Biggie Long, Ty and South Base, Genetics, Kush Master, Let's Be Buds, Futs Are Funny, Noah, 420, Dabber, Mr. Magoo, Jack Beanstalk, Detroit Crude, Angel Sativa, Christoph Bulldog, the Grotech Michigan, CX6, Ultimate Acres, Cloud, Rim Purple, J5420, Chuck, CAO Craft Farm, Sure Sweet Brother, Dr. Green Gas, the Candyman, Turf Vineyard, Pony Boy, Uncle Mike. What do we got? Mean Gene, Hope Farms, High Italian Rosin, Judge Strange, and of course, last but not least, we did 207. If this is the end of your day, please get some rest. If this is the beginning of your day, your journey, well then, you know the deal. Please take time out for a little bit of self-love, a little bit of meditation. You cannot give what you do not have. That's 100%. You cannot go where if you don't know where you're not going. You gotta have it. You gotta know in your head. I see it. I need to see it. I haven't been seeing it. Thank you guys for hanging out with me over the years. That's sincere. Very sincere. With that being said, go out there and have an amazing day. Along the lines of that amazing day, please take time to do something nice for somebody. Random acts of kindness do save lives. Ain't gotta be monetary. Call somebody, help somebody out with the door. Pass the nugs, phone calls. Sincere hello. Love you guys. See you tonight.